such as the furbolgs and turtles, do well and thrive in the natural swampy land. The majority of beings in these swamps have to build, work hard, and adapt fast in order to survive. However, given the circumstance that led to the acquiring of the dark swamps, most who live here hold it in very high esteem. Any who can make it in these lands for a full year are considered to be made of sterner stuff, and respected by those who know physical battle. Lord Wilhelm was gifted the swamps by the Lord of the Riverwood family at the time, when he helped root out and destroy the last of the traitor Alistair family, who held the swamps at that time. He has been determined to make something of them ever since, and to end up in his good graces is considered exceedingly difficult. Dragon Tongue is a harsh land with extremely sharp, rocky ground that's difficult to traverse for anyone who is not an extremely seasoned traveler or familiar with the terrain. To make matters worse, the land has several fissures that spread across the ground that are suspected to be part of a large lake of lava just beneath the surface. Regardless, it is always extremely hot here and can exhaust those unused to such conditions. As such, those who live here are hard and battle-ready by and large. Most everyone born here is either a hunter or a gatherer, as food and fresh water are difficult to come by. That considered, those who are able to cast magic are held in high reverence here. The lands are currently led by a red dragonborn warrior who goes by Spark. He is extremely suspicious of outsiders, and it can be difficult to gain his favor if he feels slighted. However, if his culture is respected, and he feels he is being treated with the same respect as any other lord, he can be kind enough to visit her. Galat is often considered to be the sole honest kingdom left in Taratan. It is run by the Light family, and the only place where no vengeance or war is allowed to be waged. The Light family spends much of their time attempting to make things equal, whether it hurts their own forces or not, believing in equality and justice above all else. The land itself is very fair, with a lake in the middle that is always perfect for swimming or sailing. Upon the island in the middle is Draco Moors, a large hall with a grand table, capable of seating over 40 individuals that are all able to be heard in equal measure by a process of a spell within its walls. The Licht family tends to look down on forms of bootlicking, gifts, and compliments might not already a friend of the family. However, good deeds and an honest reputation can put one in good graces before having even met them. Lord Kanan is an adventurous lad, recently turned 14, and desperate to prove that despite his young age, he is a capable leader and warrior. He is often kind to royals who treat him as an equal. However, if he feels mocked or made less of, he can grow to be hot-headed. The Kragnog Range is a series of cities within the shadow of a vast mountain range, boasting several expensive gems and ore. Many hope to retire within its territory because of the low-cost economy and breathtaking landscapes. However, within the past few decades, there has become a growing unrest between the majority of the workers and the ruler of the Kragnog Range. While there are a number of dangerous creatures within the confines of the land, there is a skilled god presence who are capable warriors. It is home to many of the dwarves within the land of Terraton, but is in fact not run by a dwarf. It is run by Ares Evier. Ares is now an old man, grown fat and lazy on his throne, and is a master manipulator. Still, he is increasingly distracted with his distant cousin's romantic inclines towards William Hart, a scrappy soldier in his army who has a habit of ignoring orders he finds stupid. Evier often enjoys receiving expensive gifts, but is extremely hard to actually gain his trust. The Lost Islands are a series of islands in the northwest corner of the world, often cold and windy. It is most well known as being the burial site for most of those in Terratan, consisting of hundreds of thousands of tombs and crypts. It is largely enchanted to ensure that necromantic practices and experiments are not performed on those who rest here. There are a few housesteads, such as the Kaporis Hall to the north. However, in general, it is a very quiet place, built for people to safely mourn and visit those who have moved on. Some say that the island is cursed or blessed, but most just consider it a place of rest. The Colwell family is very old and currently ruled by Lady Evelyn, who is very interested in unique weaponry and watches over her islands, much like a hawk, keeping an eye out for those who might seek to perform evil deeds. She is well known for her unique whip-like blade. Home to the more skilled farmers and horse lords of Terratan, Lothel is a land full of long, tall fields and gently sweeping hills. It is a home to many who prefer to work hard as opposed to having a cushy lifestyle. The people here are generally honest and caring, and they have little patience for politics or legal issues, preferring to let common decency and the law of equality run things over controlling government. There is some concern among the locals over the Coral Hunt, which is a long, winding cavern full of strange monsters and beings. However, many of the young men consider it a rite of passage to track down one of these monsters through the hills and kill it when they reach adolescence. Lothel is currently run by Christina Woodway, who is made particularly famous for helping drive back the monsters that inhabited Tugenia. She is said to be a wonderful horse rider and capable fighter. As such, she and her horsemen are considered exceptionally dangerous anywhere where horses can maneuver easily. It is said there is no mount alive that can match a Lothelian steed. Covered in strange, dark clouds that persist even on a sunny summer afternoon, Nyanetta is considered to be a safe haven for any who have goals and ideals they'd rather were not made known in public. However, that being said, the Talma family usually has little patience for anything that would cause large-scale pain or damage to the common man. As such, there is a mutual respect amongst any who do business within the country. Any attempt at robbery or poor dealing can be made punishable by death. Many who spend their lives in the shadows or look to get lost choose Nyanetta. However, if another kingdom is chasing you down for past crimes, they may refuse to accept you.
Hello everybody and welcome to The Natural One, where we play Dungeons & Dragons and talk about inappropriate children's shows right before we go live. We will roll the dice, we will kill the creatures, and we will tell the stories.
Rocco's Modern Life.
You can sing it slightly, just not good enough to get recognized. Before we jump in, do you want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to our friends over at Brass Engine? They make a lot of really cool shit, and unfortunately because of certain viruses that are flying around the country, a lot of their cons, which is how they make most of their money, have been closed down. So if you guys have an interest in any of their stuff, if you could check it out, it would be a very big help to them. I'm sure they would appreciate it. They make a lot of really cool nerd-themed stuff, Lord of the Rings, D&D, all sorts of fun stuff for you guys to check out. So if you have any interest in some of that, go ahead and check out their stuff. I'm sure there will be a link in the description whenever we post this up on YouTube. So last time, you guys went ahead to the tower where you had received an invitation to take on a job.
Yes.
That would potentially pay you guys quite a bit of money. As you guys spent some time waiting, you decided to travel outside of the cities to help collect a bounty, where a nearby family called the Corbys ran a small farm and had been set upon by a pair of abyssal chickens, which you guys managed to work together and put an end to. After which I believe you guys were paid 40 gold, I want to say.
Yeah.
And then Zeke's old friend, Kashi, got a ship for you that you guys were able to travel upriver, eventually heading to Gallet, where you guys will in turn head to Lothel and ride back the steeds. Getting upon your guys' new ship, you travel... You guys having fun over there?
Yeah, we're being quiet.
No, you're fine. Just, you guys are giggling a lot. Anyway. But traveling upriver, you guys were set upon by a set of alligators along with a two-headed one, and you guys actually managed to come out of that faring fairly well, all things considered. Your boat will need some repairs within the next few days, but you're not immediately in danger. And I think that is where we'll go ahead and kick things off. So, let's go ahead and roll The Natural One.
It's your time to fly, or your time to die. Let's have some fun on The Natural One. You can roll the dice if you pay the price. No, we're not done. It's The Natural One. It's The Natural One. It's The Natural One. You've got dragons and flagons and horses with wagons. There's a ton of powerful shit that your crew's dragging. You're a titan of fighting in the day or night. It's an amazing story that you all are writing. It's your time to fly, your time to die. Let's have some fun on The Natural One. You can roll the dice if you pay the price. No, we're not done. It's The Natural One. It's The Natural One.
Nipples.
And son of a bitch! I think they still cut it, but that was good. So, we're going to go ahead and pick up. You guys are currently still on the river. I believe it is nearing nighttime at this point.
You said nearing nighttime?
Yes.
Well then.
You guys are upriver right about this point, almost where the forest intersects here.
You guys have a slightly patched boat.
Yeah, your boat, it has a patch job, and it's not immediately in danger of sinking, but you will need to seek some repairs at some point.
DM, how long before we can get to that intersection of Humilis Hall?
Go ahead and make a navigation check for me. You're not proficient in those tools, so
No, I'm not.
yeah, they do not add your. It's just a straight D20, and then add your intelligence modifier.
Yay. It's 4.
You have no idea.
No idea.
How do the sides of the river look? Like, are they shore enough, or is it like a drop?
No, they're gradual enough. You could dock if that's what you guys want to do.
We could always dock it on the side and
Yeah.
kind of beach a little bit so it doesn't sink. Check the repairs in the morning and continue on our way. Because I'm not sure if we'll make it to our next stop.
How long do you think it would take to repair the
Did I
ship?
have that downloaded already?
Well, I'd imagine not too long with the rope.
No, I was using the.
No, we can't use Spotify.
Lan,
Oh, we can't.
what say you?
Sorry, we're having slight tech issues.
Lan?
Sorry. I think we should. Well, would docking slow us getting water? Maybe? 'Cause we're getting water in the boat, aren't we?
Well, I'd imagine we can just beach it a little bit.
Then
Zeke, you would know from your experience with watercraft that if you guys were to dock for the night, the boat would not continue taking on water at that point. Not sure why we
Well, I say we stop.
The alternative is if you
Stop
want to
tonight.
actually.
Then we should dock it.
We're dealing with those beasties during the day. I can't imagine what's lurking in the water
You
at
mean
night.
down here?
Yeah.
I've already seen enough of that in my time.
I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Was there an anchor on the ship or anything that we can use to dock it?
We're just gonna beach a little bit.
Okay.
This is just a sailboat.
Alright.
Alright, so you guys are going to beach it on the shore?
Yes.
Alright. I need everybody to go ahead and make let's call this a general dexterity check for me.
Do I have any? Oh, just for never mind. Okay.
Yeah, just for handling the ropes and making sure that the boat is not damaged in the
Yeah,
process.
Oh, it's
I just
gonna
didn't
be
know if
that.
I'd have any bonus since I'm a sailor.
Add your proficiency.
It's gonna be that type of night. It's gonna be that type of night.
Just dex.
Just straight dex. What'd you roll?
10.
10?
10.
9.
9?
17.
17. Actually, I'm gonna have to do some math here.
Kazia?
Kazi didn't roll that well. Lamb, what did you roll?
9.
9, 17. That's. I think you'll have it be high enough, but. Well, that's clearly not right. Oh, I haven't turned it all the way down right now. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I did, because I didn't want to go off while you were futzing with it.
That's why.
Okay, so it is an arduous process that takes you far longer than it should. You guys end up just the rocks are a little bit sharper than you would expect them to be,
Can you Discord me the internet password?
but the rocks are a little bit sharper than you would expect them to be. So it's definitely a weird process, and you guys find that you cut your feet up a little, your feet
Or feeties?
or your feeties up a little bit.
I'm suddenly a dog.
Everybody, go ahead and take 4 points of piercing damage or slashing damage from the rocks.
Curse you, gods.
But you do manage to dock the ship without injuring it further.
Are we sleeping on the ship or on?
I imagine whichever one you're more comfortable with. I'm probably gonna stay on the ship.
I would prefer the ship, if
Right.
possible.
Sleep on the ship.
Maybe we stay together and don't all separate. I feel like we should probably all stay in one place. I don't know what voice he even has for Kazi right now.
That's a good
We should all
idea,
stay on
Kazia.
Plus. It's a bit of a valley girl.
Thanks, Marilyn Manson.
He's not here to defend himself. It's okay.
Marilyn Manson.
So you guys begin to hunker down for the night.
Let's definitely set watches though.
I'll take first watch.
We'll take second.
You're gonna take first watch, second. It's either you or Kazuya. All right, everybody, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Yay, percent. I'm not that guy.
Are you watching for his reaction?
Yeah.
I am not
This is
that guy.
not
anymore.
that.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry, Mikey.
Yeah, I'm not.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, this is how. You remember how last session went for me?
Yeah.
Exact opposite.
Still love you, Mikey.
Balance and everything.
Perfectly balanced, as a whole thing should be. All right, first watch. What'd you get?
11.
11.
11.
You spend some time sitting, peering out into the darkness, keeping an eye out. Don't see anything.
I'm gonna go tap Zeke. Your shift friend. As I kind of start to wake him up a little bit,
So be it.
and I'm gonna take off my
My watch.
half plate and my boots and go lay down.
I'll get my gear on and prepare for watch.
Okay.
So 1 to 10, no happen.
Do, 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 do.
Zeke, what was your perception check?
23.
23. For a while, you sit there, and you're actually just enjoying listening to the sounds of the river rushing water as it moves past. It's a little more relaxing and feels more like home to you than even the lakes of the Wild Wood were. The moving river and the path of fish traveling back and forth bring you peace, help relax you a little bit. And then you see... I guess it depends on how these things... Sorry.
You want me to bring up pics?
Yes, please.
Apparently you can't see it in the encounter.
Okay, that's fine. They're not water-based though, are they?
Nope.
Okay. So, from the surrounding darkness, you basically have a torch, which is the best way, because I don't believe you... No, you would have dark vision.
No,
No, you don't, I apologize.
I do not.
Couldn't remember.
I have a lamp.
But you guys do have a source of light that you would be using at night. So as you can kind of start to see shadows moving in the distance, and you feel like they're probably heading towards you, even though they seem to be trying to be somewhat subdued and sneakier about it. They don't look humanoid remotely. They seem, yeah, they're just too far out for you to make color out or texture or anything. But they don't walk like typical men anyway.
Since Kazuya is the only one that doesn't have a watch, I'm gonna wake him up and ask him to. Yeah, I'm gonna go wake up Kazuya.
Okay. So as you head to him and you kind of shake him, shakes his head before he opens his eyes, and you see just his red eyes. And seeing them in the dark, you guys haven't really spent a lot of time looking at each other in the dark. You do notice a faint glow comes from his eyes that you've never properly noticed before.
So wake him up, see his eyes, and go. Ugh.
So it's just kind of, ah! Why did you wake me?
There's something out there that's heading our way. I know you're probably gonna get the most rest out of all of us, so I figured I'd wake you up, see maybe you can look.
Oh shit. He's gonna get up and go take a look. If you want. Pretty good.
Do you have a sheet up?
Yes. He peers out into the darkness. Those things do not look friendly.
That's what I was afraid of. I think we should wake the others and get ready for combat.
Probably a good idea.
Alright. Boys, let's wake up. We got some fighting we're gonna be doing.
Boys awake to the slight rocking as part of the boat is still in the water. You typically don't pull it entirely up on the beach. But you guys are woken in the middle of the night. Kazuya and Gray, or Kazuya, man, I'm all over the place with names. Kazuya and Zeke look ready for battle.
I'm gonna try to put my armor on as quickly as possible.
I'm going to do the same thing, try to put armor on as quick as possible.
You managed to do it in the course of, I believe it's about a minute for light armor. For you, it takes about 10 minutes.
Okay.
You'll have to put on.
Plate.
Yeah.
So does he have half plate then?
We'll see.
Well, I'm wearing a half plate.
Yeah, it's half plate. It's just heavy armor to
Yeah.
actually...
Oh, so it's quarter plate.
ready in action for if we get attacked.
He gets about halfway through putting your armor back on, and that's the point when these creatures come close to you, close enough to be in sight. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and call that combat. You will get your held action.
Okay. So is this initiative?
This is initiative.
Initiative.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
You guys want to go ahead and turn on that other TV?
What? Oh,
The other one.
Yeah, that one.
The one that we use for battles?
Oh. I was thinking of looking for another TV anyway.
Did you roll Garbo again? Don't let the dragon take you out take the wind out of your sails.
Hmm? These are small, these are medium.
Okay.
Pretty bad. It's going pretty bad.
It's okay, I believe in you. Just
How
have a
many
rough
small are
stretch,
there?
you got this.
Thank you. I
How many
needed
smalls
that.
are there?
Plus, I'm about to do something that'll
3.
give you a little bit of inspiration.
Oh,
or a little
okay.
bit of oomph.
All right.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yep.
That's fine.
Oh no, D4s, don't step on them.
We're thinking half of health pots.
Somebody spilled a health potion over there.
Only half of one though, so it's no good to you. All right. 25 to 20.
21.
21. 15 to 20.
18.
18.
Don't you have like plus 9 to...
10 to 15.
11.
14 for Cos.
Oof.
Okay.
All right. Lan, you're starting us off.
What about my ready in action?
I apologize. You're absolutely right.
I got the beast in my sights.
Thank you for reminding me.
I cast heroism on you.
Okay. Feels good. That's
Where
positive.
you got this, lad? So, you are immune to being frightened, and you gain 5 temporary hit points at the start of every one of your turns until the spell drops.
I believe less than a minute.
Is that concentration?
Yes. Yeah, concentration for a minute.
So you just feel this surge of strength and valor well up in you, Ronan. And where before you were really unsure, you've already seen things from another plane of existence, which is shaking you a little bit, but you feel steeled now. And you know you won't run, you're not going to back down from this.
And so you gain that 5 temp HP every single time your turn comes up until the spell drops.
Alright. Okay, now Lan. Unless there was anything else.
No,
Or no, that was your held action, so yeah.
that was it.
I'm gonna go to the edge of the boat
That'll give a little
and...
bump.
Do I see them?
I like that.
You do see them.
You would vaguely see them.
Yeah, you don't see them
They're in
clearly.
the tree line.
Okay.
You only see them because they've been pointed out. Because Kazuya and Zeke rolled really fucking high on their perceptions.
Did you roll a perception?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
for
he-
my watch, yeah. I got a
Okay.
4.
Go ahead and roll another one for me.
19.
Okay.
We all rolled super high on our perception.
You would vaguely hear what almost sounds like wings flapping in the tree line as well. Not just in one spot, all over the tree line.
I'm gonna try to, like, target one and cast Eldritch Blast. That's all I can do. Yeah, Eldritch Blast.
At the 2 humanoid creatures or the...
One of the flying ones.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Is that
Eldritch Blast, huh?
so I can't see them? Like,
You can
vaguely,
you can
yes.
you-
They're
you-
in the
more like
tree
you're
line.
seeing shadows in darkness.
Okay.
It's considered 3/4 cover for them.
Okay. 17?
17, I think it's.
No,
No, not because
not
of
with
the cover.
3/4
The-
cover, no.
Here, sorry.
Then I'm gonna bonus action tentacle
Okay.
in front of one.
So as you loose a blast, you see it skim, and for a brief moment as it passes by the creature, you see a flash of light, and you see the best that you can think of it as is a flesh-covered bird. It has no feathers. It has no plumage or fur.
It almost has small mucousy-like wings and a long proboscis. Not a beak.
Okay. Gross.
It almost looks like a bat fused with an insect.
So nightmare
Oh.
bats.
Alright, and then I'm gonna, in front of one of the humanoids, I'm gonna pop my tentacle up and smack.
All right. Whack. Do you have the tentacles over there?
Yeah, he's got one in front of him.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack.
Whack.
12.
That would miss as well.
What'd you roll? I'm sorry.
12.
12? Okay. Yeah, so just as the tentacle comes up, it... unfortunately, just in the darkness, you're having a hard time seeing and clearly visualizing where this creature is, and it manages to just sidestep out of the way. Still charging at you, and that is going to go ahead and bring us...
I'm gonna
Oh,
back
it's,
up a little bit away from the edge of the boat.
Okay. That's going to bring us to them.
They...
Look at the ship.
Okay, what am I looking at here on the map?
We haven't really placed our people where we...
Oh, yeah, you guys would actually be more together in a line here.
Who's who?
I don't know. You guys picked your own characters.
Who's this?
Me.
Okay, that's you for sure.
I think the hooded one is Ronan.
Okay.
No, I'm right there. That would be Kazuya.
I thought that was you. Okay. So you're the black one back there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, then their boat would be, the edge of their boat would be right here.
Okay. Gotcha. You're going to hear them sort of make a... Let's see, what languages do they speak? I don't think any of you know that.
What is it? Because I might. I have a few
It's specifically a monster speech.
Few.
Oh, then no, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Few languages.
Yeah.
Only like 30 something.
Yeah,
none of
they
you
wouldn't
know
speak
it.
that. So yeah, you just hear this soft, harsh tongue. It kind of, in a way, reminds you of lizard folk speech, but it's just too harsh and it's too clicky and slimy sounding to properly emulate it.
They sort of nod to each other, and then their skin almost camouflages into the forest. Turns the same color, almost like a chameleon. And what's all your passive perception? Or well, all of you make another perception check.
It's 13.
Okay.
3.
3?
18.
18?
15.
15.
Okay. You two would see them as they're sort of just taking cover within the forest. They still seem to be talking to each other, and you don't understand what they're saying, but you feel like they're trying to come up with a way to flank you guys.
And you guys watch as their skin just sort of turns a dark ebony black to blend into the background of the wood and the trees behind them. You can still make them out, but mostly only because you previously saw where they were before they attempted this shift.
Okay. You can see it pointing to the other one, and
All right. That's going to bring us to Zeke.
yep, Zeke.
They seem to be intelligent. Gotta be careful. I'm going to use bonus action. I know you can aim better than that. You got this. And give Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
That's a
D6 at this level, I believe.
Yeah. And I'm going to hold or ready an action for when they step towards us into the light at all.
Okay. All right. That will bring us to...
These things.
okay. That brings us to those then.
You see almost a swarm come out from the tree line. Where are they placed? Did you place
They're
them?
the D4s.
Okay. Who is over here? As far as you guys are. The
Me.
black one right there.
Me.
Okay. They are all just going to swarm the first thing they see.
What's the movement speed?
Do I get my held action if they're going to come out in the open?
Yeah.
Yeah, because once they enter the light, yes.
Okay. Well, my plan was to do Mind Sliver.
All right.
Okay. Which
Or
one are
just
you
the-
targeting?
The first one that comes out.
Okay.
Alright.
So I guess the first one you move, so the one on the far left.
And what save is that?
That is an intelligence save of 15.
Good choice.
Takes.
Okay. So there's just a d6 in psychic damage, and it has a minus d4 to its next save.
All right.
So 5.
5 damage?
Yes, 5 psychic damage, and it has a minus d4.
Well, that doesn't matter because you see its mind explode as soon as you do that, and it just sort of pops, and you see a black blood just fill the air almost as a rain.
Just showering everything in that area, and even the ones near it, you see get
That's kind of cool. Without
slightly
gross.
covered in just just essentially the black berry of blood that just exploded everywhere. So it reminds you of stomping on a grape.
Ew.
The remaining 2 swarms are going to move right up to you, and they're going to go ahead and attack you.
Okay.
Yep. Be a 19 to hit.
Yeah, yes, that absolutely hits.
Okay. So they both are going to latch onto you.
Did they both roll 19s?
Yeah, they both attack separately.
Well, they act as a
Yeah, but they're 2 separate creatures.
natural 20.
Cool.
So the right one, well, both of them are going to do the same thing. They're both literally just going to latch onto you, and you would see their proboscis just, all of you would see this just sink into Zeke's skin, and they're just going to start draining his blood. So you take be 7 piercing for the first one. And that would be 8 piercing for the crit.
second.
For the crit.
Okay, I'm almost dead.
Roll the 1 for damage on that crit.
Do you have to roll for to maintain Air Wisdom on me?
Yes, which is a DC 10.
Who's up next?
I believe it is Kazia.
Okay, it's going to bring
Perhaps I
Kazia.
saved.
All right,
So,
perfect.
seeing you have this life force start to be drained from you, Zeke, Kazia runs up and he's going to go ahead and take a slash at the one and that's closest to it. So,
No.
fuck Kazia. Well, it's a 9, so no. Yeah, he slashes out at it, and it actually just sort of flaps in such a way that his blade just goes right past it, unfortunately. And I think that's pretty much all he can. Oh no,
Unarmed strike.
I'm double checking. Oh yeah, so all he has to do is make an attack action. So he's gonna go ahead and use Flurry of Blows.
Yeah, so I'll say bonus action.
Yeah, bonus action for Flurry of Blows. Okay. Okay, so it's 2 unarmed strikes. So I'm not used to playing monks. Let's see this one, because that one's not working for me. That'll hit. So.
You don't even have to roll damage.
Right. Fair enough, but. So, slashing out with his sword, and it just. You see. And he just looks at it and goes. Punches it, and it explodes, covering you in some more of the black goop, but it is no longer draining life from you. So. Second attack. So yeah, just literally slashes out. Misses the first one, looks at the other 2, goes. Fucking uppercuts him off your face. That is going to end his turn, and that'll bring us to
They're both
Ronan.
dead?
They are both dead.
Yep.
What would it require for me to finish putting on my armor?
5 minutes.
Okay.
That's gonna be like 30 rounds of combat.
Yeah. Ronan is going to. And you said I saw where they were?
Oh, yes, you
The
did see what they were.
humanoids, yes.
Okay.
Next 50 rounds of combat, he's just putting his armor on.
Yeah.
Getting dressed.
I'm going to sheath my
Congrats.
sword and put up my shield.
Okay.
I'm gonna put out my longbow. And put that away.
What's the range on your longbow? They're probably in range as well.
It's like 300
80
feet
and
or
then
something.
Yeah,
600
it's,
or
I'm
something
pretty
It's
like
not a
that.
ranger anymore.
It's 120 and then.
Oh, is it? Yeah. That's
150.
still ridiculous.
I'm thinking short bows.
Mine is 150.
It's
yeah.
in range.
Yeah.
So you're in range.
Okay.
You could be across the entire TV and you'd still be in range.
I was thinking the short bows.
And I'm going to go to turn around and go. I want to get just to the edge of the ship where I saw them last.
Okay.
And I'm going to fire at this one on the far side towards me.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Did you make the perception check to see him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would
You
be
rolled a
disadvantage.
15.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Does an 11 hit?
No.
You fire out at it, and unfortunately, the arrow flies just over its shoulder into the tree.
I am going to use the rest of my movement. How high is the boat?
The boat's not very high. It's less than a 10-foot drop. You'd be fine if you jumped off the edge.
I'm gonna hold. I'm good. I'm good with that.
All right. That's gonna bring us back to land.
Can I see them any more clearly than before?
No, they appear to be, you know, kind of where they're at, but you really don't know for sure. You could try to, I would say probably a bonus action if you want to try to perceive them again.
No, I'm just gonna bonus action attack with my tentacle.
Okay. This would be a disadvantage.
Wow, that's so obnoxious.
15.
15.
No.
And
They have
then
3/4 cover. So it would be in their aces.
Even
Do
with
they?
a melee attack?
Hmm?
Even with a melee attack?
Oh, is it melee?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm.
Oh. I don't know how that works for melee. Does cover matter
it does.
for?
It does matter, but
Yeah, well, they're not
they have
physically guarded
cover
by
From my
anything.
tentacle, like, does that make any sense?
Let me look it up real quick, if you wouldn't mind.
Like, they do get cover.
Well, that's why he was at
Yeah.
disadvantage, is because they were in darkness, is the issue.
Which that makes sense because it would still have a hard time seeing them.
It just says a target with cover has a bonus to their AC. It doesn't say specifically range
Yeah.
or melee.
Well, he's not actually covered. Because cover means like behind something physical too.
Yeah, they're behind a tree line.
Oh, they're actually
in
behind
They're in the forest.
Yeah, but they're not behind it from the tentacle.
Yeah, it'll hit.
I grant you, it's weird.
I don't think that's how it should work, but I'll go with his call.
3 points of cold damage, and his movement's been slowed by 10.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna action Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, say it, Warlock. Say it with some pride.
Disadvantage again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's cool. 2 9s.
Oops. Stop it. I don't know why. Oh, because we're not.
20, not net.
Yeah.
Almost a max roll on that bardic inspiration. Wow.
6 damage, and his movement's been slowed by another 10.
Okay.
Very nice.
This one wasn't actually bad. I didn't know he had agonizing.
And that's my turn.
All right.
Okay. They thought they were hidden in the forest, so they're going to run away. So you see them just run off into the forest.
Okay.
You hear the tree line buzzing with the same flapping noise that the bat creatures came out of the forest with.
I was expecting a dog lapping up water mixed with the cicada sound. It's fine though.
All in the trees. Dog lapping water noises, all in the trees. Lobsters come flying out. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So is the combat effectively ended?
Combat is effectively ended, yes.
For now.
Unless you guys want to give chase.
I'm gonna sit down and be like, that fucking hurt.
I'm
And then
going.
like pull the fucking pincers out or the needles out of
Just
me.
it's
Like,
essentially just like you're pulling teeth out of your flesh at this point.
it was like, wounds be sealed, and then use healing word on myself.
I was looking at it. It essentially means like this.
Cool.
It's like if you had to
That's
attack
good.
around the corner,
How you look?
but there's really no reason like the tentacle
Oh,
because there was
actually,
nothing
okay now.
here, so there's no reason the tentacle
Yeah,
can
max
just
rolled
roll
a-
done that.
Healing word.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
I have a different opinion.
Okay. So you guys, after recovering for a moment, settle back down and start to go to sleep. One of you in quite a bit of pain.
He used healing word.
Oh, you use healing word. I apologize. We were looking at stuff. And the rest of your night passes without incident. Eventually, come morning.
So do I get the long rest after combat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Long rests don't take place until after your full hours of rest. So if you're attacked in the middle of the night, you don't have spell slots that you wouldn't have had during the day, but you are rested afterwards.
Right. Okay.
So what would you guys like to do?
I am going to. Are there any more of the when we kill the creatures? What do we do with them? Do we just throw them off the edge of the boat?
They're very small.
Yeah.
They also erupted when we hit them.
You need to swab the deck essentially.
Want to go to the tree line and see if I can get any indication of what these creatures might have been.
Okay.
Make an investigation check.
I'm gonna check on our makeshift repairs, make sure they're gonna hold up until we get to the next city.
Okay.
And
That's
pretty much it.
what I'm talking about.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
That is a 21.
Okay. Which ones are you trying to figure stuff out about?
The
Both?
humanoids.
The humanoids.
Humanoids.
Make a history check as well.
Raggedy.
17.
That's 4.
Okay, well, you're definitely able to seek out all the tracks, and while they looked humanoid in the tree line, and you could get a vague idea of what they looked like, they were a lot bulkier than a normal human. The footprints are webbed. You're not sure. It almost looks like something like you've seen in the forest, maybe a frog or something of the like, but they're a lot bigger than those. So,
How far do the footprints go?
they just go into the forest.
Into the forest.
I'm gonna walk back to the boat.
Okay.
On my way back to the boat, can I skewer the ground to see if there's anything remaining of the swarm creatures as well?
You hear the trees buzzing.
With them?
Yes.
Think almost similar to cicada season.
I'm gonna power walk back to the boat. Intensely.
It might seem goofy, but damn it, all your glutes will thank you later. You power walk intensely back to the boat, white suburban mom style.
And how's the boat looking? Does it look okay?
The boat seems like it'll last until you guys reach Humilis Hall.
I think it may be best for us to be on our way.
I agree with that.
Zeke, what do you need from us to get the boat going?
Seems like it should hold just fine until we make it to Humilis.
Once we get to Humilis, how much do you think we would need to spend to get the boat right?
Would I know that answer?
Typically, boat repairs depend on both the size and amount of work that has to be done on the boat. Since your boat wasn't extensively damaged and it's not a particularly nice one, it really wouldn't take much. You don't really know the amount of gold, but it shouldn't be anything extensive.
I'm not sure it should be too expensive. Since I know watercraft, I'm pretty sure I can point that out and not get gypped on price, so shouldn't take us too much.
Fantastic. Let's be on our way then. And
Okay.
I will attempt to help Zeke undock the boat and everything off the rocks.
And having done this before, at this point, you guys are starting to get a little more used to this process. Zeke, you of course have been used to it. For Lan, Ronan, and Kazia, it's still a relatively new process, but they understand a little bit more. There's less deliberating and spending time understanding what needs to actually be done, and now it's just more a matter of doing it. So they're still fairly inexperienced, a lot of little mistakes and slip-ups and bad grips and bad knots, but it goes a lot faster than it did the first day.
Make sure we keep an eye on the water again.
I
If we
will,
see any red eyes in the water, say something.
I will be on watch along with.
Sure, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I'm gonna focus on keeping the boat sailing straight.
You know what, Cherry Blossom, you failed me too many times already. No.
I wanted to roll again. It's just
It's-
like, no, please.
All right, Celestial, come on, baby.
I got a 1. It is a 1.
No, it's close. That is a 8. It was a 7.
You guys are all good.
I'm just gonna put up the okay sign as I walk around the boat.
You just walk around the boat.
Oh, we're gonna die. on the boat.
Continuously, he's not even looking out.
Just laying on the floor. As far as you can see, you're all good.
From where I'm sitting, very evil.
I'll help navigate.
Okay. And your navigating is very rough since none of you, with the exception of Zeke, are particularly used to water travel, or are proficient in navigator's tools, more importantly. It's more a sense of just generally trying to follow a map and figure out where you are and where you're going. Being that it's a river and not an ocean makes it quite a bit easier. It's harder to get lost. But there are streams and creeks that peel off. That's just between looking at the general shape and working out the water flow, you guys are able to navigate without taking an incorrect path.
While they're doing that, after my perception check, still shook from the dream, Ronan would like to pray to his deity.
Okay. Go ahead and make a religion check, please.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. So as you sit cross-legged on the boat and begin to breathe deeply and meditate. Just you. And as you exhale, you feel a momentary stillness in the air around you, but it doesn't grow stale. It just grows quiet. And you're filled with an inner peace and almost a sense of tranquility. And there becomes a sureness in your mind, an idea of taking the right path instead of the easy path, and a desire to protect that which is precious not just to you, but to the rest of the world as a whole. And you see the creatures that you've come across and what you've been fighting recently. Your mind comes to what would happen if they were able to infiltrate a city, the damage they could wreak, the civilian lives that would be lost. And you become sure of your desire to protect them and to stop these things from causing damage. Your mind is just steeled in this way.
All right, I'm gonna do that until something happens.
Hey, Kazuya, since he's a little busy, you want to take a look around the edge of the boat, make sure we're okay?
I mean, he did it earlier, but I guess if you think it should.
He's not really looking anymore.
No.
Spent some time looking around the boat.
Yeah.
As far as I see, I think we should be good.
Just please keep an eye on it, will ya?
He spends most of the rest of your voyage on that day, just kind of occasionally peering around, checking around. Go ahead and make an insight check for me.
21.
21. You can definitely see there's an ease to Kazuya being on water. You sense that a lot of that really comes from the fact of him not having traveled before, at least widely by water. But there's definitely a dislike of unstable ground and not having a solid grasp of things around him. And as you think on it, you sense that maybe being a monk, he's more used to having a slight amount of control over his environment and over his footing, which being on shifting water eliminates. So there's definitely some discomfort.
He prefers being grounded.
Prefers being grounded. So you guys end up traveling for most of the rest of the day without major incident, and you see the vast city of Des Moines Hall vanishing over the horizon as the tree line overtakes your shore to the left. And all of you are forcibly reminded of horrible creatures that may be lurking deep in those woods. Eventually, as you guys continue to travel upriver, you see a fairly vast city, not nearly as vast as Des Moines Hall would be, but still a respectable city with fairly well done walls peeking up over the horizon, which you are drawing steadily nearer to, and a bridge that links over the river.
Just be looking out for a place to dock.
Okay. And as you do, you actually see that there are a group of dockhands that are prepared to receive you. And as you loop in, they loop ropes around the edge of your boat and help pull it in and actually stabilize it. You guys manage to get off the boat much smoother this time. And as you do, you can see it's a mix of humans. There's a tiefling, a couple half-elves, races that are fairly prominent in the tower.
Much appreciated, friends. Do you know where we could get some simple repair work done?
The tieflings, well, my friend, that sort of thing we could do for you here, if you would be willing to pay, of course.
Depends on how much we're looking for. These are just simple repairs on a small ship.
Oh, of course. I suppose for something of this nature, we could do this for, say, spend some time looking at the damage your boat has taken. What to say, six golden, sorry, I had to think of the currency for a second. 6 golden steel.
I believe we have swords.
Yeah, that is the currency of the tower, is golden swords.
Well, I know these repairs aren't quite expensive. I've patched a little bit of them myself. How about 6 swords for currency exchange? What I know in exchange rate?
No, I'm sorry. He's asking for golden swords.
Oh, you said shield.
I did. No, I'm sorry. I said steel.
Oh, steel. Okay.
Yeah, but golden swords is the.
Oh, okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I said it weird. I apologize.
The
Why
coin
don't-
that we have, is it, what,
The coin that you have is in golden swords.
Okay.
Why don't we do 3 swords instead, and we provide some of the materials ourselves?
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
All right. Nat 20.
Son of a bitch.
So 29 total.
Yeah, of course it is. He looks at you. The tiefling looks at you in the eye for a moment. You son of a bitch, I'm in. And shakes your hand heartily.
Much appreciated, my friend. And I'm gonna go ahead and toss him 3 gold and point out where we have some minor supplies still on the sailboat. And
And once the dockhands will begin to jump up and immediately start measuring the pieces of wood that need to be cut, the tar nails that need to be applied in order to make your ship properly watertight once again.
if you guys want to go see if you can get any information from like an inn or something, see what else we're dealing with along this water. I'm gonna stay here and oversee and make sure these repairs are done right.
Do you know how long it would take?
Would I estimate know how long these repairs would take?
It's going to take a few hours. Typically, any repair, especially for watercraft, takes a fair amount of time.
To get it right, I'm assuming a couple hours. So you guys have some time.
Okay. You want to go to the inn?
But of course, man. Kazia, will you be joining us?
I suppose if I must.
If you wouldn't mind doing me a favor and maybe grabbing an extra health potion.
Extra health potion for you, Zeke, of course.
Appreciate it.
With my travels, would I have been to Humilis Hall? Humilis Hall?
You have passed through here a time or two. You never really stayed here very long.
Well, then let us begin our trip as you are waiting for the boat. You said a few hours, correct?
Indeed.
That's enough time for me to destroy a cask of ale. What did you say, Lan?
I'll join you. I don't think I'll be drinking.
I'll drink your drinks. It's fine.
Sounds good to me.
Be safe, lads. I'll see you soon.
See you in a few. And we will start walking down, I guess, the street.
Okay. You're just looking for an inn in particular or anything?
Yeah. First, I need to stop at, is there a potion shop here?
There isn't a potion shop as such. There are supply shops that may sell potions.
I would like to look for a supply shop that may sell potions.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Can I be helping you?
Sure. Are you proficient?
Yes, I am.
Okay, yes. I remembered.
That is a 19.
19. You spent some time looking around, and it takes you a little bit. But eventually, you guys find a little, it's kind of a ramshackle inn, or ramshackle store rather. You can tell, obviously, the door is tied on, it isn't nailed on. It's
What?
strung together using rope. This is not a high quality establishment.
They don't have a door, man. It's tied with a rope. That's...
The door isn't on it. The door isn't on a hinge. It's
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, whoa, this is fuck high quality. This is it. Oh man. Okay. Sorry.
the building is called Magical Accidents.
Magical accidents. That sounds so bad.
Sounds like my childhood.
Oh!
You hear Zeke from over the hills.
This seems... I'm just going to kind of survey it a little bit.
It would be up in the Sunflower Field district, if you're curious.
Awkward. I'm just going to walk in, and do I see anybody behind the counter?
As you walk in, the shop is dimly lit, and you see there are jars lining the wall, all sorts of odd little, just multiple different things. You see what looks to be a double-sided eyeball, because it's slowly rotating in this green goop, and it clearly has two pupils. You don't know how to see what this thing came out of. If it was ever even out of anything, maybe it was invented. You're not really sure. And as you look around, you just find there's different bits of powder here, and there's a sword that's got a couple runes etched onto it. And just looking around, it's a very ramshackle place.
Hello, as I call out.
You hear and you see dust flying up from behind the counter. You see a fairly beefy pair of hands reach up onto the counter and pull up a dwarf. He is bald on top, but the hair on the side of his head has grown out long enough to reach about waist length, and a big, thick red beard in equal length. His clothing is just covered in soot and ripped in places. And you see him, he's actually got a pair of spectacles that have the magnifying glasses on the side. And as he pops up, he goes, hello! I don't think I've seen you here before.
We are just traveling through. My friend, do you carry health potions here?
I have some health potions. Then you see him begin rummaging through boxes. You hear tinkling and just, you hear, as it goes just through, and you tick, tick, fuck. It just seemed instantly being pouring through us. Travelers, so where do you lot come from?
We come from different parts. Me, I'm from the wild woods. Land, you are from
The tower.
the tower.
Ah, can't say I ever got up to the wildwood and you see him slam a heavy crate down on top of the counter. Too many elves, for my taste. He begins pouring through. Well, herb potions, I have 2 here for sale.
How much are they?
These are good quality. Let's say 48 gold apiece.
48 gold apiece. Do I recognize these health potions from all my time with the Lunari?
I mean, health potions themselves are relatively universal. They might be mixed slightly.
That's what I'm asking. Do these look like real health?
Do they look like real health potions? Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Yeah.
Pass that down, please.
Looks good to me.
Looks good to me.
Looks good. Damn good to me.
Beautiful bubbling red.
Maybe the
concoction.
best health potion you've ever seen.
How about I trade you this black tar firebomb and we call it even?
You see, go ahead and make a. I guess this would be. Make a general charisma check. Just in an effort to try to make the bomb sound appealing.
Persuasion, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess persuasion would be.
Maybe diplomacy check.
14.
14. I was about to roll a d12.
I mean, you go for it.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna stop you.
Okay. Takes it from you. It's a deal.
Thank you.
Plops it down in front of you and slides 2 very dusty looking.
Yeah.
There's no ignition within his. Well, I don't know dwarf anatomy that well, but he just slides 2 very dusty health vials over to you.
Very good, Land. Good move.
Thank you.
We'll be sure to get these back to Zeke. Friend, what was your name in case we ever pass through again?
Oh, my name, and I hope you certainly do. You've given me a business here. My name is Garrett.
Guard. Nice to meet you, Guard. My name is Ronan.
Ronan, and you are
Len.
Lan, and your quiet friend over there who's been staring at me with a lot of menace.
Kasia. Had anything gotten funny, well, let's just say whatever family you had would be burying you tomorrow.
See, Kazuya just. I should have stayed on the ship. Well, anytime you guys are in town or need supplies, you're certainly welcome in my shop.
Thank you, Guard. And I'm going to put 2 gold on the counter for him as well. Maybe
So just-
invest in a door. On hinges.
A little bit. He looks at you. Oh, I've been meaning to do that. I got a door here somewhere. You see him instantly just moving pieces of wood around.
Maybe have an assistant or something help you with that.
No, I got a sister. She's up in Rage of the Gods, though. Very long way away.
We'll be seeing you.
All right. Well, have a good time.
Did anything in the shop catch my eye as far as magical items or anything?
Not with an I didn't.
Okay. And I walk out of the door on a string.
Okay. As you guys reemerge, you're actually blinded for just a moment. Stepping back out into proper sunlight as opposed to being in a dimly lit shot only has a slight ray slivers poking through the sides. But you see that the town is fairly busy. They're not, it's not packed, but there are people going to and fro, carts and people transporting things back and forth. Excuse me, as well as a decent guard present.
A decent guard presence, okay. are there any directions onto where the ends would be, or do we just?
I mean, you would know that typically. Go ahead and make a history check for me.
Where's the dock?
The dock is actually where that thicker bridge is, right here.
Okay, cool. I'm just curious.
That was a good question. Really, again? You know nothing about the city.
Sounds good to me. I think the best end is this way, and I just start walking down a different street.
All right. So as you start heading south, you start seeing places get steadily more dodgy. But they're not exactly unkempt or at great risk or anything. Eventually, you find an establishment, we'll call it, simply titled Genasi Ways.
Genasi Ways. Lan, Z, what do you think about this place? This is too low scale for you.
How does it look?
I say land.
Go ahead and make an
Oh, sorry, Lan and Kazi.
investigation check.
Okay, I was just a little confused.
11.
Looks like a building, and it's not falling apart.
Looks good to me.
Kazi, what do you think?
I think it looks like every other bar we've ever been in.
Kazi, more energy. Do you good. Be positive. As I walk.
I'm not a happy person.
As I open the door.
As you open the door, there's instantly a feeling of walking through a different world. There are no tables or stools, rather there are throw pillows all over the ground. And you see that this is something in the effect of a hookah bar.
Yes! Sorry.
You got really excited about
Sorry.
that.
We've never been.
Ronan,
I
are you
have-
okay?
I
What
have
was that?
one question. Is Kazuya's spirit animal B negative?
Yes. Marvelous Studios.
Mm-mm.
Which we are not sponsored by or affiliated with in any way, but disagree.
Don't do Kazi like no.
I was gonna say Kazuya's still got something on
Kazi,
it.
I would never stand for that. Never.
I like that you looked directly at your camera when you did that. But as you walk in, there are throw pillars all over the ground. Oh, sorry, Mikey just discorded me.
I bet he did.
He just sent it, I can hear you all. it's done with love, Mikey. Anyway, so...
Just know we're thinking about you, punk.
But it's there are table. Essentially, it's a place where you kneel around a small table. Drinks are provided, and there is essentially a hookah at every would-be table where there are different flavored smokes flying through the air. It's like when I smoke incense at Dee's house on Friday nights.
That's good stuff right there.
It is a wonderful, enriching smell, and as you walk in, it is an extremely chill atmosphere. I need the three of you to go ahead and make a con save for me.
Oh, great. So just out of curiosity, did those bats just have 5 health?
2.
They are not hardy creatures.
If you
Some
stayed
shit.
over there much longer, there was going to be a lot more of them.
Gotcha.
That's what the buzzing in the trees
Is
was.
this the scaling die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand why you don't use it. So what'd you get?
20, not net.
29 net.
18.
You guys walk in, and you guys feel this is kind of a cool place. This is definitely a cooler bar than the last one you were in. Although there is no one-legged sailor telling you stories. As you walk in, Kazuya blanks out for a second, looks around. I'm hungry.
On our break, I'm gonna tell you a very funny story about.
We'll get there on break.
But
What are you hungry for?
Yes.
Kazi,
I hand him a piece of one of my rations.
He instantly just... This is the best dried fruit I have ever eaten in my entire life.
That's bread, but okay.
That's what Kazia, are you okay?
I'm good. I am acceptably good.
I am going to grab Kazia or put my hand on Kazia's back and kind of bring him along with us.
Okay.
Have we seen a maid, or not a maid, but a bartender or anything?
I'm sorry, you just discovered me. How dare you? I'm so sorry. I apologize. What'd you say?
Have we seen a bartender or anything like that?
It's not exactly a bartender, but there is a server. She appears to be a youngish halfling girl with long blonde braided hair and vibrant blue eyes. Appears to be just generally in a good mood, making sure everybody's enjoying themselves, helping refill the hookahs as needed. Just make sure that everybody's tended to.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes. You folks are not the regulars here, are you?
No, we are not. We are passing through. We were wondering if we could get a. Normally, I'd say table, but I'm seeing that's not fitting the environment. Could we get a throw or a rug for the three of us?
That is what we provide here. Please come, have a seat.
As we're moving, I'm following her. I will kind of just guide.
As you guys go along.
Yeah.
He seems capable of moving just fine. Just you see, kind of wide-eyed passing by. Somebody's eating food, and he just.
Kazi. Well, we're gonna order food, man.
I think we should definitely do that.
Yes, very much so.
As you guys sit down, you find the pillows are fairly thick but comfortable, and you can tell they must be filled with some kind of fine feathering. And you can tell this place probably does all right, considering where it's at and everything. Not being a major city, not being a upscale establishment. But as you guys sit down, she places a thicker stock of parchment paper for you. As you look down at the menu, there are a variety of different names, such as hair of the Gorgon, water, ice from the water plane, just all different names, none of which mean anything to any of you. So what will your poison be, gentlemen?
Man, are you prepared to, for lack of words, babysit?
Yeah, I can do that.
We've got a few hours. And I'm going to start strolling through the menu. What is ice from the water plane? That has intrigued me.
It's actually something rather pleasant. When you take a hit of it, it freezes the inside of your throat and stomach, not literally, of course. But it provides a pleasant chilling sensation, especially preferable on hot days.
What's the temperature outside?
At this point in time, actually, it's cool, not cold.
It seems more of a summer. Is that a season here?
It would be a summer type.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What else?
Somewhat similar to ice cream, essentially. Think of it in that way.
What else do you have?
Well, we have powdered tiefling horn.
What? That?
We have the field rat reed.
The what?
The field rat reed.
Field rat weed.
Reed.
What is that?
Field rat weed.
What is that?
I mean, that might be a more honest name. The field rat reed is something more of a summery taste to it. A little more earthy, if you prefer to think of it that way.
And what does that do? Is it the other one had a chilling sensation? What kind of sensation does this one provide?
This one tends to, I suppose it might be said, relax you, help mellow you out, especially if you find that your mind is a little too occupied at times.
As you finish that, before she finishes that sentence, I just look over at Kazia. I will. How much for two of those?
Well, those would run you 2 silver apiece, so 4 total.
I'll take some of that. And as far as food,
Well, today we happen to be serving a fair goose that was plucked and boiled.
Are you
along
okay?
with along with potatoes.
Are you okay with that, man?
Yes, is Kazuya.
That actually sounds perfectly wonderful right now.
So we'll take 2 of the field rat reeds and 3 of the goose and potatoes, and I will put a gold piece on the counter on the ground. Are you
She-
having a gold piece?
She picks it up and smells. I'll have that right out to you, gentlemen.
Fantastic.
Zeke, after about an hour and a half's worth of work with you helping and assisting, you can tell these guys definitely know more of their stuff than arguably even Kashi actually does. But they clearly have some idea of what they're doing. They've clearly been working here a number of years. They're experienced, they're callous, they're fairly strong. And with their help, after about an hour and a half worth of work, you do manage to have the boat back in shipshape.
Much appreciated, lads. So what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen out on these docks? Got any weird stories for me? Well, I guess that kind of talk would have been happening
Yeah,
while
as you
repairs were happening, just being jovial and talking, but
And they do share some stories with you. There have been, especially different people, nobles that pass through by sea, particularly from Gallet or from Shattered Ice. They will typically come through by river, as it's just an easier mode of transport for them. There's also been a fair number of people that travel up the river from different countries, most notably Mirkart, at least from that particular side of the country. And they've had a lot of different travel and trade, things of that nature. They say that particularly anyone that is traveling from Sapphire Shores is always very weird. Just they are highly unusual beings, and you're really never exactly sure what to expect. They tell you about this new race of people that they've never seen before. They are heavily fish-like, and appear to be very strange, preferring water or damp temperatures at least. A little unsettling, to be honest.
especially since we got a vibe of that on our travels.
I'm sorry?
You saw the webbed feet?
Oh, no, not in the terms of webbed feet in that regard.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
These creatures are much smaller in stature.
Okay.
I might be talking about the Grungs.
Seen any interest in double-headed sharks lately, or double-headed alligators lately?
Well, they typically stay away from the cities. We've learned over time that traveling into populated waters is not good for them. But I know that they do exist in the rivers.
Fair enough. You mind if I leave this docked here for a little bit while I go collect my friends?
Perfectly welcome to enjoy your time in the city.
Thanks. Do you know where I could find the nearest tavern?
Well, the nearest tavern would be the Little Chariot, a little way up into. Sorry, I can't read all my own writing that far away. The Brownstone. Brownstone. Yeah, that's it. In the Brownstone Guild.
Fair enough. I appreciate it. I'm gonna head that direction since that's where I figured they would go.
Okay. So as you head up into the Brownstone, you see that these are slightly nicer establishments. They're not exactly noble level or high escort, but they are well kept, well cleaned. You can tell that they're far more sanitary than what you might find perhaps in the Sunflower Field district. Heading into the Little Chariot, you see that there are a number of patrons already drinking, enjoying having a good time. A couple of small tier gambling games, nothing major going on.
I'm gonna go straight to the bartender after looking around, and I'm assuming I don't spot them
You do not.
since they're not there. I'm just gonna go straight to the bartender and just be like, "Have you seen a plated warrior with 2 friends tagging along behind him?"
Well, we have a few plated guard who are not within the city, but I
Or is
assume...
a stranger to this place.
I can't say I've seen anyone not particularly regular. Hold on for a moment. You see her pull out a copper wire and begin whispering frantically. And a few moments go by. Does it again, again, and again. Sorry, Mikey's comments in the stream are making me laugh. It's literally, stop me, you fools. No! Anyway, eventually she looks at you. Oh, yes, well, as I understand it, there are a group of the people you're looking for down in Genasi Ways.
Would you mind pointing me in the right direction to there?
Of course. And she actually pulls out a town map and indicates where you would need to go.
Fair enough. Thank you very much.
You're perfectly welcome.
I'll give her a silver because it's just information.
She smiles at you and pockets the silver piece.
And then I'm gonna start heading that direction then.
And as you do, heading down into what would be called the more rough and tumble parts of the city, you look around and you think, okay, this makes more sense. This is where Ronan and Kazia probably would have gone. And looking around, eventually you find Genasi Ways, and there is just, in particular, a scent emanating from the building. Is like as you enter the street, you can smell it.
Do I recognize the scent?
It's kind of like being in the mall when there's an Abercrombie and Finch anywhere in it. I'm sorry, I was thinking of Hollister. You would. This is not a scent you've not ever smelled, particularly people on sea for a long time. Some of it is familiar. It's a different variety than what you're used to. But in general, the idea of smoking in hookahs and different tobaccos and weeds are not uncommon to you.
Fair enough. Then I'm gonna go ahead and walk on in with a smile on my face and look for my friends.
You find a trio in the back, two of which are smoking determinedly on a hookah. In fact, both of you go ahead and make, I don't know what you even call this.
Con.
Yeah, probably.
Is a check?
Yeah.
Con checks.
Then I'll try to get the server's attention. I'll have another one. So I'm gonna try to get the server's attention and say, "I'll have another whatever they're having."
All right, very well. Ratfield Reed. You got me saying it now.
You came up with the name, man.
Welcome to me making up names on spot. Of another Ratfield Reed, and some cooked goose coming right up. Please have a seat.
Wonderful. Thank you, miss.
Man, in particular, the food here is not nearly at the quality which you usually prefer, but you can tell at least effort has been made. It's not a plain or tasteless affair.
I'm most likely would be reading a book while they're enjoying themselves and making sure they don't go off and do anything dumb.
In fact, your greatest annoyance is just that there's an outburst of laughter, and it's like,
I lost my place.
but you are not disturbed.
This is like you found yourself some fun, lads.
I'm sorry, what did you get for your contract?
14.
14. You feel a slight pleasurable sense fly your fingers and legs in particular getting a small tingle, but you remain largely in control of your faculties. Kazuya does not, because I am rolling very low right now.
Ah, Zeke. You've come with good news. Yes.
Boat's completely repaired and ready. She's seaworthy again.
Fantastic. Are you having some of this Ratfield Reed?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. As you see, Kazuya himself, Kaz, are you okay?
I'm good. I am. Hello, Zeke.
He is good, as you see.
You see him just slowly chewing on a piece of goose that is slightly cornered out of his mouth.
You seem a lot more content than you usually do, lad.
I feel a lot more content than I normally do. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still very upset, but this is the happiest upset I've ever been.
What the fuck does that even mean, Kazuya?
I don't know.
Well spoken, I guess. Whatever makes you happy. Anyway,
You should try the goose. It's not... Lan, how would you describe the food here?
It's adequate.
Every time you speak and you touch your glasses, I just see this elegant douchebag.
works for me. Adequate works.
Edible. It's a step above edible.
It's the like anime glare on the glasses.
That's exactly how I saw that.
Oh, weird. Super weird.
Well, I'm enjoying. I'm excited to try it then.
As you should be. It is an enjoyable sensation.
After a few moments, she does come over with another serving of the Redfield Reed and the goose and potatoes.
Much appreciated, lass.
Oh, you're perfectly welcome.
Go to town then. Enjoy myself.
Alright.
Is there any ale here?
There is ale, yes.
Very good. But you can't have Ratfield Reed, Field Rat Reed, without a
Redfield Reed.
Ratfield Reed without a nice glass of ale.
Can't actually argue with that.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes.
Can I get
You see, she has an abundant amount of patience for somebody that takes a while before they actually order.
none for him. Land. Would you like an ale?
No, you can have it.
How about a mead?
I'll take a meat.
I knew it. So we'll take one mead and 2 ales. And can we get him a tankard of water, please?
Certainly can do.
How much do I owe you?
Let's see, for 2 tickets of ale, a ticket of meat, and a ticket of water. Let's say that would be about 4 silver pieces.
Okay, 4 silver pieces. Got math.
She disappears from the table, heading back moments later with 4 tankards, sliding them in front of each of you respectively. Land, as you take a sip, you actually taste there is a sweet, almost aroma and feel to the drink. Which puzzles you for a second, and then as you realize this meat has actually been mixed with cranberries.
How is it?
It's good. It's good. It has a little bit of a cranberry flavor. I don't know if you. It's good. I like it.
Yes, I was aware that most of you scholars prefer mead over ales. Through my travels, of course.
That's usually a good bet.
And, what are you reading?
I don't know. What am I reading?
I don't know, what are you
I tell
reading?
you what, many books.
Are you reading Smart?
It is not a little
No.
orange book, there's not a little...
He is not good guy.
It's got the anime blur on it.
Pixelated.
Mosaic.
I don't know.
It'd actually just be a red book that I'm reading back through.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
Got
don't.
any stories for us?
Not that you'd be interested in, no.
You don't know that, Lan. Come on, we're on this trip. Let us bond a little bit.
I'd love to hear some of your stories.
Yeah. Tell us about the days in the tower.
I've only been in the tower for about a month and a half.
Well, tell us who Lan is before the tower, please. We're all getting to know each other.
A librarian,
You were a librarian.
yes.
Insight check.
Didn't
Yeah,
you say
20.
I'm not.
Oh.
Yay! Oh, I got that. That's
No,
right.
no, I didn't hear.
The 25.
Yeah. That's my usual account.
Oh, okay.
I seem to be telling the truth, I suspect.
Apologies. Did you make an insight check?
He told me to add 20 to it. I got a 25.
I'm not.
After the 20.
It's the Clue one shot all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, apologies. We were looking at Twitch stuff. No, yeah.
A
Appears to be
lib-
telling the truth.
A librarian.
Yes. I grew up in libraries.
And is that where you got your love for the academics,
That's late though.
the scholar?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that. I'm more into delving into hidden secrets in books.
Agreed.
Ah,
Already
Trying
agreed.
to find it could be anything about
yeah.
long destroyed castles or
Lore.
lords or
There is.
That
Why you
is-
still
I
with us
haven't
that one
looked at
time?
the name yet, but there is a
yes,
person in charge
yes it
of
was.
the hall. That would be the head of
And
the
then
family.
it always feels like I'm running.
You want to come up with a name for me? true.
But in general, I don't stay on location for any longer than a year, maybe 2.
I think that's a safe bet. Honestly, that's been the same with me. I've been on the open water my whole life.
I'll go with Draco Humilis.
Okay.
That's
Those are named for their hall. Or the hall. is named
interesting.
for them.
Sounds, just from the past 2 days, seems like a hard life.
It wasn't easy, but it was a lot of fun. Especially the full crew
Let's go with Ira.
actual ship.
I can see that. What was that captain's name we saw in the end?
Kashi.
Kashi. How long did you work under him?
I haven't worked for him, I've just known him as a fellow sailor. He's more of
Full
a
of shit.
showboater. Yeah, you could say that. He's interesting to listen to. He's got a lot of stories, but
I'll give you that.
keep him at that. They're stories, not necessarily true. He's a fantastic entertainer.
Yes, I saw many people who were happy with him.
But honestly, he's still a genuine person. He can still get stuff done.
Yeah, clearly with the belt.
I mean, when it comes down to it, he's still a trustworthy person. He just likes to,
Embellish.
yes, greatly embellish.
But why not? If you can enhance somebody's day just by a simple story, may it be fact or may it be fiction, I think that's the real win when you're able to connect with people.
That's why he's so much fun to listen to. Whenever you're having a bad day, just listen to one of his slightly outrageous stories.
The story about the Kraken was interesting.
Gets me every time.
I did find that quite intriguing.
I'll have to agree.
So think of him as woven with fiction.
It's a good way to put it.
Entertainment value.
It's a good way to put it.
But man, is there a specific reason you don't stay in one spot for more than a year?
To be fair, I haven't either. Until now.
Not a specific reason. Just say after a while, I tend to not get along with people.
Was the girl that we met back in the tower, the hall, was she
The
one
tower.
of the tower? Was she one of the reasons, or somebody you didn't get along with?
No, she seems to just have a fascination with me and my travels.
She seemed
Certain
odd.
parts, yeah. Or just your brain.
Brain, I suspect.
I look-
but I really don't know.
I look at Zeke and just give him a high five.
Definitely.
Roll performance checks.
Okay.
Yeah, see how easy the bar's like, okay.
Man, a difference that charisma check.
Nat 20.
What'd you roll?
Oh, it's not bad. 9.
So mine's a 27
So
total.
you see, as Rodin just awkwardly, just
Fry's a little stricken there. It's okay. It's okay.
You feeling it pretty good? It seems to have gone straight to your head.
I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking, man.
You're welcome.
Uh,
What's Kazuya doing?
he seems to be
Kazuya
coming.
is-
He's coming out of his stupor a little bit and seems to be slightly embarrassed. As much as you've ever seen Kazuya be embarrassed about anything.
You're holding up there, champ. Fair enough.
So should we be
I
on our
remember
way?
my first time smoking. It's about the same.
it's everybody's first time. Nothing to be ashamed of, Cassie.
I don't need you to patronize to me.
There he is. That's
Kind of adorable in his own way.
That's the guy I know.
He's not here. He's gonna be so pissed.
Anyway, they said we can keep the boat docked there for the day. Enjoy the city.
Let's tell me, what else is in this city? Do you know?
Go ahead and make a history check.
Okay. 6.
You have no idea.
Not really sure.
Would I know anything about the city?
If I went through here at all, it was
Go ahead and make a history check.
just a quick travel through.
Oh, I'm here. Like you
Not sure I
said.
want to know a lot about a lot of
20,
cities because since I was on the open
13,
water
not
so long.
23.
I mean, you would know that there's is a city that is it has more amenities than you would find in, say, farm towns or rural towns and things of that nature. It's a pretty minimal city, really, all things considered. Most of the halls are designed to be both accommodating and comfortable. So they're designed for travelers and locals to be able to get things they want. There's most likely a wide variety of shops. As trade is a big part of their economy, essentially. But I mean, really, most as long as it's not anything particularly crazy that you're looking for, they could probably accommodate what you guys are after.
However, just to let you guys know, all the establishments are well connected. Because the first tavern I went to, which was a lot nicer than this place, but this place is pretty great, I'm not gonna lie. They were able to communicate between all of them to find you guys for me.
What did that cost?
Nothing. They were just giving me information. I tipped them for it, but they seem to be pretty well spoken to each other.
It's good to know. Do you think we should spend the whole day here, or should we try to...
And it would already be later, or earlier evening at this
Early
point, because you
evening.
guys have been on the water most of the day.
I'd say it wouldn't hurt to spend the night here. I'll go check on the boat, make sure we can dock it overnight. And then if you guys want to find an inn, at least come talk to me about it. Let me know where you guys are going to be this time. So I'll go check on the boat. You guys find an inn. Come get me at the boat.
Sounds like a plan to us.
All right.
I'll see you guys at the boat.
Okay.
And with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and take a quick little break, about 15 minutes. Everyone can go pee, we can take a break, and we'll be back shortly after that.
I'll be back.
In the northeast corner of the world lies the kingdom of Taratun. It is a varied land full of lords and ladies, where your word and your vow are given out with greater care than gold and silver. There are a total of 16 different lands, each with a main hold and with several bannermen who are loyal to them. While some of the lands are larger or richer than others, each carries a great history and prestige with it. Dark and difficult to traverse, the dark swamps are a wild and murky land. Here, beings such as the furbolgs and turtles do well and thrive in the natural swampy land. The majority of beings in these swamps have to build, work hard, and adapt fast in order to survive. However, given the circumstance that led to the acquiring of the dark swamps, most who live here hold it in very high esteem. Any who can make it in these lands for a full year are considered to be made of sterner stuff, and respected by those who know physical battle. Lord Wilhelm was gifted the swamps by the Lord of the Riverwood family at the time, when he helped root out and destroy the last of the traitor Alistair family, who held the swamps at that time. He has been determined to make something of them ever since, and to end up in his good graces is considered exceedingly difficult. Dragon Tongue is a harsh land with extremely sharp, rocky ground that's difficult to traverse for anyone who is not an extremely seasoned traveler or familiar with the terrain. To make matters worse, the land has several fissures that spread across the ground that are suspected to be part of a large lake of lava just beneath the surface. Regardless, it is always extremely hot here and can exhaust those unused to such conditions. As such, those who live here are hard and battle-ready by and large. Most everyone born here is either a hunter or a gatherer, as food and fresh water are difficult to come by. That considered, those who are able to cast magic are held in high reverence here. The lands are currently led by a red dragonborn warrior who goes by Spark. He is extremely suspicious of outsiders, and it can be difficult to gain his favor if he feels slighted. However, if his culture is respected, and he feels he is being treated with the same respect as any other lord, he can be kind enough to visit her. Galat is often considered to be the sole honest kingdom left in Taratun. It is run by the Light family, and the only place where no vengeance or war is allowed to be waged. The Light family spends much of their time attempting to make things equal, whether it hurts their own forces or not, believing in equality and justice above all else. The land itself is very fair, with a lake in the middle that is always perfect for swimming or sailing. Upon the island in the middle is Draco Moors, a large hall with a grand table, capable of seating over 40 individuals that are all able to be heard in equal measure by a process of a spell within its walls. The Licht family tends to look down on forms of bootlicking. Gifts and compliments might bring disdain if you are not already a friend of the family. However, good deeds and an honest reputation can put one in good graces before having even met them. Lord Kanan is an adventurous lad, recently turned 14, and desperate to prove that despite his young age, he is a capable leader and warrior. He is often kind to royals who treat him as an equal. However, if he feels mocked or made less of, he can grow to be hot-headed. The Kragnog Range is a series of cities within the shadow of a vast mountain range, boasting several expensive gems and ore. Many hope to retire within its territory because of the low-cost economy and breathtaking landscapes. However, within the past few decades, there has become a growing unrest between the majority of the workers and the ruler of the Kragnog Range. While there are a number of dangerous creatures within the confines of the land, there is a skilled god presence who are capable warriors. It is home to many of the dwarves within the land of Terraton, but is in fact not run by a dwarf. It is run by Ares Evier. Ares is now an old man, grown fat and lazy on his throne, and is a master manipulator. Still, he is increasingly distracted with his distant cousin's romantic inclines towards William Hart, a scrappy soldier in his army who has a habit of ignoring orders he finds stupid. Evier often enjoys receiving expensive gifts, but is extremely hard to actually gain his trust. The Lost Islands are a series of islands in the northwest corner of the world, often cold and windy. It is most well known as being the burial site for most of those in Terraton, consisting of hundreds of thousands of tombs and crypts. It is largely enchanted to ensure that necromantic practices and experiments are not performed on those who rest here. There are a few housesteads, such as the Kaporis Hall to the north. However, in general, it is a very quiet place, built for people to safely mourn and visit those who have moved on. Some say that the island is cursed or blessed, but most just consider it a place of rest. The Colwell family is very old and currently ruled by Lady Evelyn, who is very interested in unique weaponry and watches over her islands, much like a hawk, keeping an eye out for those who might seek to perform evil deeds. She is well known for her unique whip-like blade. Home to the more skilled farmers and horse lords of Terraton, Lothel is a land full of long, tall fields and gently sweeping hills. It is a home to many who prefer to work hard as opposed to having a cushy lifestyle. The people here are generally honest and caring, and they have little patience for politics or legal issues, preferring to let common decency and the law of equality run things over a controlling government. There is some concern among the locals over the Coral Hunt, which is a long, winding cavern full of strange monsters and beings. However, many of the young men consider it a rite of passage to track down one of these monsters through the hills and kill it when they reach adolescence. Lothel is currently run by Christina Woodway, who is made particularly famous for helping drive back the monsters that inhabited Tugenia. She is said to be a wonderful horse rider and capable fighter. As such, she and her horsemen are considered exceptionally dangerous anywhere where horses can maneuver easily. It is said there is no mount alive that can match a Lothelian steed. Covered in strange, dark clouds that persist even on a sunny summer afternoon, Nyanetta is considered to be a safe haven for any who have goals and ideals they'd rather were not made known in public. However, that being said, the Talma family usually has little patience for anything that would cause large-scale pain or damage to the common man. As such, there is a mutual respect amongst any who do business within the country. Any attempt at robbery or poor dealing can be made punishable by death. Many who spend their lives in the shadows or look to get lost choose Nyanetta. However, if another kingdom is chasing you down for past crimes, they may refuse to accept you. Currently, they are ruled by Lord Neldor, and while he certainly has strong principles, it can be hard to tell exactly what he does or does not find acceptable, and seemingly random things can set him off even to the point of occasionally attacking someone. Obsidian, the small island kingdom, sits in the shadow of the nearby earthen plain and is full of people who prefer an adventurer's life, and those who would dare to take the paths less traveled for promises of adventure or treasure. The people there do have to work hard, with everyone being expected to pull his or her own weight to help keep everything running. But whatever fever may grip them, or whatever quest they may wish to take, they are encouraged to do so. It is also said to be a very wealthy land, with many spending time among the path of fire, daring to walk the burning coals to prove themselves, though no one ever seemingly returns from this venture. As such, visitors can sometimes be put off by the seemingly odd life of the islanders. They are somewhat slow to trust, but are willing to share what they have with the often exhausted and sea-tired adventurers that reach their land. Obsidian is currently ruled by Lord Roderick, and he is in favor of working with the other kingdoms, especially the Lost. This has given them a set of powerful ships, said to be some of the strongest in the world, often bearing crews of 200 or so men and women. Rage of the Gods is said to primarily consist of a large island in the middle of a lake of lava. Many of the older generation give respect to the legendary Dragon of the Magma River, said to spread throughout the entire kingdom. However, many nowadays do not believe in these rumors centered around this supposed dragon. The dwarves who have been running the land for over 400 years swear by its divine powers, and there may be something to it as they breed unrivaled warriors. Strength and power rule strong here, and a man who is capable in battle is often more respected than somebody who has a full coin purse. Of course, you can recognize talent and hold your drink, it certainly won't hurt. The Rage of the Gods is currently helmed by Lord Barshon, who spends most of his days in Archdale as opposed to Maryport, preferring to pray most of his days and problems to the Dragon of the Magma River. Founded by the oft-thought insane goblin Garrot, Sapphire Shores is flowing with liquid magic and set on a beautiful chains of islands and beaches. Sapphire Shores is home to many new and untested forms of magic, not readily available to those who study in the rest of the world. Therefore, the Lord made 2 Warforged and transfigured his own son Wix into a Verdin, a fate shared by a few of the goblins who lived in the City of Glass. As such, many don't really know what to think of Sapphire Shores, and it has become something of a haven for both freaks and those who appreciate the beautiful and the odd. Many think of themselves as more advanced or accepting than the other lands, and many beings such as tieflings or goblins find an odd acceptance from the locals provided they don't break its laws. Still, even in the course of the law, it is a very forgiving and understanding land. Lord Wix, who is extremely physically changeable, is a mix of a fun jest and a symbol of acceptance for his people. Wix spends much of his time out and about among the locals, often focusing his time with the younger children or adventurous creators on the land. There is no guard presence here, rather the locals form watches all their own and protect one another. If you are there, you are considered family. The Shadowed Forest is a kingdom consisting of huge, sprawling woods for which it was named, and saved by a set of Tabaxi brothers. It is now a considerably hostile and dangerous place after the wild Trent betrayed and killed Lord Ice 12 years ago. While those outside the forest are able to live a normal life during the daylight hours, they must spend their nights vigilantly on watch and wary of evil creatures that may set upon the towns. Those within the forest itself have it even harder, often having to rely on liberal uses of the alarm spell, not to be surprised in the middle of the night. However, those that live here see their efforts as noble, protecting the rest of the world from the darkness of the night. Lord Snow holds his father's murder against the forest itself, and the hostile attitude he holds against it has hurt the local trade. However, the Lord is not alone in his anger, as much of the locals mourn the loss of the Tabaxi Lord they had over a decade ago. The Shattered Ice is a frozen tundra, once rumored to have properly belonged to the frozen wasteland of the water plane. It is now a collection of villages and stone towers that were built to withstand the frigid temperatures. Those who live here are either more comfortable in the cold and recluse, or hope to utilize the cold in some way. While many creatures do poorly in such frigid temperatures, there are those creatures who revel in the lower temperatures, and they provide a very real danger to any who get lost in the wilderness. It is ruled by a strong family of orcs who believe in either the trial of blood or banishment as a punishment. It seems harsh, but it means that grudges and slights are forgotten fairly quickly. Despite the harsh punishments present, Lord Mackinac is an uncommonly caring orc, often seeing to the care of smaller villages or families before taking care of himself. He's also an extremely skilled warrior, rumored to fight polar bears unarmed and unarmored. A strange land, once holding a great fortress, and now a collection of broken and jagged pillars standing out against the surrounding area. The Shattered Isles are often suspect for those who travel here, and it is neither a pleasant land nor a wealthy one. It is dark and hard, favored by those who can go nowhere else. Its greatest achievement is not actually due to the lords at all, rather the family of dwarfs to the north of the kingdoms who forge ships and cargo to be traded for the island's income. Much mystery surrounds the ruling family of the Kenku, due in no small part to their peculiar method of speech. Silent and often thought of as cold, Lord Catskall is caring to his subject, but extremely difficult to talk to without being examined and made uncomfortable. As such, many people prefer never having to meet the bird-like being. A huge and sprawling metropolis, and easily the envy of many places around the world, the Tower is a bustling and busy place, where any number of beings and races and skill sets are found. As such, it is a haven for those who function well in crowds, or like to disappear in a group. No one is considered out of place in the Tower because everything is so unusual already. Beings performing odd actions or talking to nothing are relatively commonplace. Bands and minstrels exist everywhere, and even shady shopkeepers and street musicians are commonly found. The Riverwood family, currently run by the very proud Lord Marcus, oversees the kingdom of Terraton as a whole in addition to the Tower. As such, it is common to see the Evier family helping out, considering that Lady Alyssa was an Area before marrying into the family. The Wild Woods are a strange and magical place. Many who feel the pull of the arcane like to spend time in this place, save for the wizards, who prefer to study at the Tower or the Unbroken. There are a great number of fey creatures here, and the leaves eternally rise instead of fall. Many claim the forest to have traveled to Terraton straight from the Fey Wilds, although no one can properly explain how that might have happened, and has become home to a great many of the elves who appreciate the woods or their own kind over the stone cities of men. It is currently run by Lord Harold, who spends much of his time attempting to repair the relationships between the Bronwyns and the rest of Terraton, given the recent acts of ex-Lord Kola. The Unbroken is a magical land where few are brave enough to traverse and even fewer to return. There are a few maps of the location that have been obtained by those who manage to travel over the land, but they may not be entirely accurate, as no one is truly brave enough to go back for a second chance. There are a great number of ruined cities that lay across the land, where there may or may not be inhabitants. The only proper occupants are the members of the Underborn family. They wear purple and white robes, and have strangely glowing purple eyes, which are some unknown effect of the arcane energy that courses through them. They consider the need for physical weapons a weakness and a factor of lesser being. Their leader, Lord Edgard, is as secretive as the man before him, and the man before him, and the man before him, and so on. Nothing is really known about the Underborn or their history, as they refuse to release a family tree or a notable history of events. It is not even known exactly why they wear the purple masks, as it may be to hide their true identity. In the northeast corner of the world lies the Kingdom of Terraton. It is a varied land full of lords and ladies, where your word and your vow are given out with greater care than gold and silver. There are a total of 16 different lands, each with a main hold and with several bannermen who are loyal to them. While some of the lands are larger or richer than others, each carries a great history and prestige with it. Dark and difficult to traverse, the Dark Swamps are a wild and murky land. Here, beings such as the furbolgs and turtles do well and thrive in the natural swampy land. The majority of beings in these swamps have to build, work hard, and adapt fast in order to survive. However, given the circumstance that led to the acquiring of the Dark Swamps, most who live here hold it in very high esteem. Any who can make it in these lands for a full year are considered to be made of sterner stuff, and respected by those who know physical battle. Lord Wilhelm was gifted the swamps by the Lord of the Riverwood family at the time, when he helped root out and destroy the last of the traitor Alistair family, who held the swamps at that time. He has been determined to make something of them ever since, and to end up in his good graces is considered exceedingly difficult. Dragon Tongue is a harsh land with extremely sharp, rocky ground that's difficult to traverse for anyone who is not an extremely seasoned traveler or familiar with the terrain. To make matters worse, the land has several fissures that spread across the ground that are suspected to be part of a large lake of lava just beneath the surface. Regardless, it is always extremely hot here and can exhaust those unused to such conditions. As such, those who live here are hard and battle-ready by and large. Most everyone born here is either a hunter or a gatherer, as food and fresh water are difficult to come by. That considered, those who are able to cast magic are held in high reverence here. The lands are currently led by a red dragonborn warrior who goes by Spark. He is extremely suspicious of outsiders, and it can be difficult to gain his favor if he feels slighted. However, if his culture is respected, and he feels he is being treated with the same respect as any other lord, he can be kind enough to visit it. Galat is often considered to be the sole honest kingdom left in Terraton. It is run by the Light family, and the only place where no vengeance or war is allowed to be waged. The Light family spends much of their time attempting to make things equal, whether it hurts their own forces or not, believing in equality and justice above all else. The land itself is very fair, with a lake in the middle that is always perfect for swimming or sailing. Upon the island in the middle is Draco Moors, a large hall with a grand table, capable of seating over 40 individuals that are all able to be heard in equal measure by a process of a spell within its walls. The Licht family tends to look down on forms of bootlicking. Gifts and compliments might bring disdain if you are not already a friend of the family. However, good deeds and an honest reputation can put one in good graces before having even met them. Lord Kanan is an adventurous lad, recently turned 14, and desperate to prove that despite his young age, he is a capable leader and warrior. He is often kind to royals who treat him as an equal. However, if he feels mocked or made less of, he can grow to be hot-headed. The Kragnog Range is a series of cities within the shadow of a vast mountain range, boasting several expensive gems and ore. Many hope to retire within its territory because of the low-cost economy and breathtaking landscapes. However, within the past few decades, there has become a growing unrest between the majority of the workers and the ruler of the Kragnog Range. While there are a number of dangerous creatures within the confines of the land, there is a skilled god presence who are capable warriors. It is home to many of the dwarves within the land of Terraton, but is in fact not run by a dwarf. It is run by Ares Evier. Ares is now an old man, grown fat and lazy on his throne, and is a master manipulator. Still, he is increasingly distracted with his distant cousin's romantic inclines towards William Hart, a scrappy soldier in his army who has a habit of ignoring orders he finds stupid. Evier often enjoys receiving expensive gifts, but is extremely hard to actually gain his trust. The Lost Islands are a series of islands in the northwest corner of the world, often cold and windy. It is most well known as being the burial site for most of those in Terraton, consisting of hundreds of thousands of tombs and crypts. It is largely enchanted to ensure that necromantic practices and experiments are not performed on those who rest here. There are a few housesteads, such as the Caporus Hall to the north. However, in general, it is a very quiet place, built for people to safely mourn and visit those who have moved on. Some say that the island is cursed or blessed, but most just consider it a place of rest. The Colwell family is very old and currently ruled by Lady Evelyn, who is very interested in unique weaponry and watches over her islands, much like a hawk, keeping an eye out for those who might seek to perform evil deeds. She is well known for her unique whip-like blade. Home to the more skilled farmers and horse lords of Terraton, Lothel is a land full of long, tall fields and gently sweeping hills. It is a home to many who prefer to work hard as opposed to having a cushy lifestyle. The people here are generally honest and caring, and they have little patience for politics or legal issues, preferring to let common decency and the law of equality run things over controlling government. There is some concern among the locals over the Coral Hunt, which is a long, winding cavern full of strange monsters and beings. However, many of the young men consider it a rite of passage to track down one of these monsters through the hills and kill it when they reach adolescence. Lothel is currently run by Christina Woodway, who is made particularly famous for helping drive back the monsters that inhabited Tugenia. She is said to be a wonderful horse rider and capable fighter. As such, she and her horsemen are considered exceptionally dangerous anywhere where horses can maneuver easily. It is said there is no mount alive that can match a Lothelian steed. Covered in strange, dark clouds that persist even on a sunny summer afternoon, Nyanetta is considered to be a safe haven for any who have goals and ideals they'd rather were not made known in public. However, that being said, the Talma family usually has little patience for anything that would cause large-scale pain or damage to the common man. As such, there is a mutual respect amongst any who do business within the country. Any attempt at robbery or poor dealing can be made punishable by death. Many who spend their lives in the shadows or look to get lost choose Nyanetta. However, if another kingdom is chasing you down for past crimes, they may refuse to accept you. Currently, they are ruled by Lord Neldor, and while he certainly has strong principles, it can be hard to tell exactly what he does or does not find acceptable, and seemingly random things can set him off even to the point of occasionally attacking someone. Obsidian, the small island kingdom, sits in the shadow of the nearby earthen plain, and is full of people who prefer an adventurer's life, and those who would dare to take the paths less traveled for promises of adventure or treasure. The people there do have to work hard, with everyone being expected to pull his or her own weight to help keep everything running. But whatever fever may grip them, or whatever quest they may wish to take, they are encouraged to do so. It is also said to be a very wealthy land, with many spending time among the Path of Fire, daring to walk the burning coals to prove themselves, though no one ever seemingly returns from this venture.
And welcome back to The Natural One. Took a break, went to the bathroom, had a really weird conversation about the coronavirus, which will need to be picked back up, but that's okay.
And sports mascots.
And sports mascots.
You got fun.
And Yif Party.
Bro.
I'm sorry, I didn't warn everybody. Oh no, we can't say that on Twitch, we're gonna get banned. Anyway.
Fucking gosh.
I will go ahead and yeah. So, you guys, after spending an evening in the hookah bar of Genasi Ways, you guys are feeling relaxed, fed, fairly happy, and much safer than you were feeling on the side of the road last night.
Alright, we'll go find an inn to... Or are we sleeping on the boat or an inn?
We should choose an inn. After last night, I could use a more comfortable night of rest.
I could agree.
I'm gonna go see if boat's okay being held there overnight. See if there's any charges for holding it for the night. And then if you guys find an inn, come find me at the boat, and we'll head there together.
This sounds like a plan, Zeke.
I'm gonna head back to the docks.
Okay.
Let us find something more elegant, shall we?
I can agree with that.
You guys looking for an upscale place?
I was gonna say, if I heard that as I was walking out,
Yeah.
like,
So you're not looking for like on the Ritz, but
try heading
Not
north.
this place.
The inn or the bar that I saw that I first went to was a little higher quality than this place.
I don't think I trust you when you do this.
I'm fairly certain our friend Zeke said we should head northwest.
Lead the way.
Northwest. Not quite sure what he said. Let's just walk until we see something nice.
so you guys start heading up looking for something nice. Everybody make an investigation check.
I'm back to the dock.
You went back. Okay, everybody but Zeke make an investigation check. What is with me tonight? Why am I broken?
Are you cursing my Percy dice?
I must. That's what it is. I secretly don't want you to use it against me, so I'm making sure it's broken. I'm the Will Wheaton of the group, apparently.
You're not channeling my luck, are you?
I must be. No, I had one good roll tonight.
Yeah, that's my normal luck. One good roll and a massive bad.
Yeah, all right.
So what did you get?
15.
That's all that needs to be said.
You guys are just roaming the streets looking.
15.
8.
Cause you got a 5. So you guys are just walking around and
There's appropriate music for that.
just Legend of the Zelda knocking on every door until one opens.
As you guys are roaming the streets, yeah, you all make a perception check. All of you.
All of us.
Make it.
Okay, shit.
Either a 61 or a 19.
61 sounds good. Yeah. What did
So
you
what'd you
get,
get?
Sherlock?
19.
I mean, Kaz.
Kazuya, you got a 26.
Good. Yeah, it's fucking fine. I got a 17.
17?
No, 16. Sorry.
16.
Perception check. 16.
16.
So you all would see well, you two would know. You, I don't think, have met him yet. The familiar form of Talon. As he is sort of just feeling his way around, and he sort of stops for a second and seems sort of look to the ground. And
I was heading to the docks. So I would see him too.
are you away from the group?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I went. That's why I looked at you and said me too. Because I was heading to the docks while they all looked.
Yeah, he
I
wanted to
didn't
check
hear
and see
that.
if we could. Yeah, he wants to see if they can both dock the boat for the night.
Nope. So it's just you and you then. So you would only recognize him. Okay. Then he'd do the same thing, and he would just say, "Brother."
And I'm going to give the familiar bird whistle that I used when we were kids. That bird whistle. Thank you.
That wasn't me.
Who did that?
I don't know.
Unclear.
Totally unclear. And then I am going to try to...
That's good.
I'm going to try to sneak up on the side of him as he is feeling around.
You're gonna okay.
But he's not like on the ground.
No. I know he's like walking along the wall.
You're making fun of a blind man. Yeah, okay.
I'm going to try to sneak up alongside of him.
He just looked at you and said, "Brother."
Well, he can't look, but he can definitely sense me in a way.
He knows that you're there,
Yeah, he knows I'm here.
or at least he thinks that you're there.
So,
You a dickhead.
You
So considering you just whistled at him, go ahead and make a stealth check with disadvantage.
okay.
Actually, I think you probably already have it because of the plate, but
Yep.
With elven disadvantage.
That would be a 12.
no, he definitely sees you.
like literally as you sneak around, even blind eyes still just follow you.
You need to take off the armor, brother, if you're going to sneak up on me.
Well then, Talon, I've never been able to get around you, so And I'm going to give him a hug.
He'll return it.
What are you doing here?
I could ask the same of you, but actually Draco, I don't know if you've heard of him or not, he sort of runs this city. His wife is near childbirth and she's sick. They've tried local remedies and nothing's worked, so they turn to the Lunari ways to try and help her.
So they need a healer.
Of sorts, yes.
Which you guys would know, this would be fairly common knowledge. Children dying or being born stillborn, more properly speaking, is actually a very common problem. It is one of the disadvantages of this point of history, if you consider it that way. Just children, essentially, to make it past 5 years old is something of a challenge. Not that it is more common for a child to die, but it definitely is not uncommon for it to happen.
So what was the payout for this then? What does the Lunari gain by helping the Draco?
Well, favor, firstly. Ambassador is my new job, as you know.
Yes, how are you liking the new job?
It's different. I definitely prefer being in the wild as you do.
The wild just feels so normal.
There's no politics. You don't have to watch the way you talk. Here you do. It's not going to say unsettling, but, well, you get it.
It's not natural. Everything is covered up in masks, to say the least. Oh, I ran into Cassandra down in the tower.
Oh, geez. What's she doing down there?
She had just got done killing a lion. She looks great, though. Good health. So that's always a plus.
She likes you, you know that, right?
We talk about this more and more, you know that, right? When the time is right, when the hunt is over.
Maybe one day you'll listen to me.
I listen to you all the time, what do you mean?
Well, what are you doing down here?
We're running an errand for horses a little ways up north. We're supposed to be making a good amount of gold off of it. And on the way, I'm hoping to further my studies on creatures. Different beasts.
The Lothel steeds.
Yes, how did you know about those? Is that major?
They're very rare and they're quite beautiful creatures.
So they're worth every bit of the gold that we're going after then.
Personal side purchase.
Did you want to introduce William here? Did you want to wait? Probably wait until we get there.
Alright, it's fine.
What did you say, sorry?
So they're worth every bit of the pieces of gold that we were offered then.
Well, I don't know the specifics of your deal, but I do know that they were planning on shipping some of them back, yes.
Essentially, we're escorts for the Lothel horses. Oh, where are my manners? Talon. These are my friends, Lan and Kazia. Lan, Kazia. This is my little brother, Talon.
It's nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you.
I thought I was the weirdest person you knew.
He'll take both of your hands and sort of cup them in his own and then do a bow.
Okay, thank you.
Sort of a weird ritual.
Go ahead and
but
make a performance check for me, Len.
Always with the thematics.
15.
I don't know.
You're banned from using the Percy die.
No!
15.
50. You managed to reciprocate. You managed to reciprocate the gesture fairly well. It's still awkward. It's definitely far from what would be a usual greeting, but you managed to kind of pick up on what he's doing and not totally embarrass yourself. Kazia does not have the same grace, which is odd because he would be more familiar with the gesture in the first place.
Trips on his shoelace.
Then realizes he was wearing them.
Does he not wear shoes?
He were
tripped
sandals.
on my
Maybe he's a
shoelace.
weird monk. We don't know.
Touche.
I think he did
tripped
put
on
it in
my
his character
shoelace.
sheet.
On your shoelace.
Well, is there anything I can do for you while I'm here? We're here for the night.
You could help me scour a little bit for some herbs. That's what I was doing. It's up to you. I can make my way around, but if you're busy, that's fine.
No, we were just going to get an inn, but I'm confident Lan and Kazuya can do that, especially with the land. He's very elegant, very smart. So
I don't know if this city particularly has the things that I'm looking for. I might have to go out a little bit, but...
Well, you never know. Let's see what we can find in the city. There's a magic shop, or I'm sorry, a supply shop, a little ways away.
All right.
Do you remember the name of it?
I do not.
Magical accident.
It doesn't have a door, I know that.
It absolutely has a door.
Still trapped.
The memory of an elephant.
Are you on any sort of timetable? I don't want
Dementia.
to inconvenience you.
As long as I'm back by nightfall so I can get some rest, we're leaving early tomorrow morning to head back up.
I think I could do this on my own then. You should get some sleep.
So modest, so noble. I'm gonna give him one more hug.
He'll return it. You should come back to the forest more often.
I will try to be home soon.
It's worth mentioning that grandmother's here as well.
Did she make her famous bread?
Of course she does.
And where is she?
She's sort of being a midwife of sorts right now for Draco's wife Ira, but I'm the gopher.
That's when dealing with a grandmother, the younger ones are typically the gophers.
You know her.
When I'm out, I will look for herbs and then try to stop back by if you're still here.
Yes. Be sure to say hi to her as well. She wants to see you.
Then I will make it a priority when I come back to do that.
All right. He will cup your hands and do the gesture the same as him,
And being more practiced, you are familiar with how this gesture is performed.
And then I will return it.
be safe, brother.
Same to you, brother. And then I will catch back up with Lan and Kazuya.
What you do, you find the pair of them having something. If I could find my fucking mouse, you find them having something of an argument, with Lan indicating towards a inn that is titled "The Tallest Halfling."
The tallest halfling.
So what is he, 4 foot?
Actually, exactly 4'10". A certain dwarf. I put that in my head. I don't know.
That's a good joke about Mike. I'm not. Very nice. I love Mike. Don't stab me.
What are you doing? Are we going in the tallest?
I would like to. I mean, seems like a nice establishment.
Well, let us find out. I'm just gonna open the door.
As you open the door, you are immediately engulfed by a cool rush of air. Not freezing cold, just a nice, pleasant breeze. Feels almost similar to standing on top of a hill during a soft gale, if you will. And as you do, there is a soft inrush of music that hits you. The inn is full of many different vibrant colors and hanging tapestries. There are paintings on the wall depicting ancient battles. Go ahead and make a history check for me, actually.
Oh, fuck me. You know what? Let's not use that dice anymore. It's not fared well.
Well, I'm back. I'm just going through all your dice.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like today. Some of these bad boys are getting replaced. Let's try this one.
I just got banned from a Percy die.
That's an 8.
For a while, you get fascinated by one depiction showing an ancient red dragon on top of a land you're not familiar with several dragons in the background. But you're unable to place what this painting might be of.
I'm following him behind. Like we're gonna follow him behind him.
Okay.
Do we see somebody at the front desk?
There is an older gentleman, has no hair on his head, and his face is clean shaven, but there is fair tufts of hair coming out of his ear. And you can see his eyes, they're slightly milky white, but there's a pleasant smile on his face as you guys walk in. Yes, welcome. I don't know you, do I?
Len, I will let you take this one.
No, you do not, good sir. We're here to get 2 rooms.
3.
3 rooms.
How big are your rooms?
We have multiple different sized rooms to accommodate every individual of different sizes. We do have quite a few sized rooms that would have 2 single beds in them, or 1 larger if I don't judge.
Can we get 2 of the single, or 2 of the double single beds?
You want 2 double single? Yes, we can do that.
2 beds per room, please.
Gotcha.
No.
Yes, how much would you be charging for that?
How long would you be staying?
1 night.
Just 1 night? Oh, let's see if we can do that for a gold apiece then.
Just DM's clarity. We each got paid 10 gold, or we all got
You each got paid 10 gold.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay.
Wait, wait.
Yeah, we're gonna go get them once we.
What if my friend wanted to play a few songs here? Would we be able to get some money off the rooms?
How good is your friend?
Very good.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
We're more of a band, if you will.
You better watch your have disadvantage on this check.
Persuasion?
Persuasion.
20, not net.
Shoot. I'll say if it brings in a fair bit of coin, we can do it for a single gold then.
Alright.
I get my horn out of my bag.
I'm gonna go find Zeke. Do not start yet.
No, I'm not. I'm making sure it's tuned up and ready to go.
Yeah, do that in the back.
We'll do that in the back.
Did you just pimp me out?
Ask you. I'm gonna go find Zeke.
I think he's your manager is the way that works.
I'm gonna go find
Little bit
Zeke
column
and
A, little bit
get
column
him
B.
back up here and ask him.
You're our manager.
Down at the docks,
Clearly.
Zeke, you find the tiefling and the human and 2 half-elves are still working down at the docks. They're in the middle of a card game at the moment.
I don't mean to interrupt you, lads, but who would I talk to about possibly keeping us here for the night?
The tiefling and they kind of whisper to each other in hushed voices for a moment. Well, my friend, says the tiefling, standing up, that would be my responsibility. So you're hoping just to stay for the 1 night, yes?
Just one night, we'll be gone in the morning.
Well, if that's it, then why don't we make things a little interesting? I happen
So-
to be a lover of games of chance.
Not against that. What you got in mind?
Beat me in a game of dice, and you will have, and I will allow you to keep your ship here free of charge for the evening.
And if I lose?
You pay a time and a half the price, and we wet our beaks a little.
What kind of price am I looking at if I lose, just in case?
Well, the standard fee would be 7 silver pieces. I apologize to dock here for the night.
Fair. I'll play on that.
All right. So the way this is going to work is you guys will respectively roll a d10, a d8, and a d6. At the end, the person with the highest total wins.
D6, got it. Okay.
So 1 at a time.
I believe in you, Zeke.
What the hell is that? So, roll 1 at a time?
1 at a time.
Okay, start with D10.
D10.
That's a 4.
10.
Okay. I had to roll not shit at some point.
So the 8. That's a 6.
That's 10 total.
It's a 2.
12.
Alright, and then the D6.
Yep.
4.
2.
So we
Tie.
hit tie.
So then death. Dice of your
Sudden
choice.
death.
Dice of your choice.
Let's do the D6.
D6.
2.
2.
Double overtime.
One more D6.
One more.
2.
6.
6.
Alright.
That'll be a gold piece, and we'll keep your ships here safe for the night.
Double or nothing, one more round.
Ooh.
And the way I like to.
Here we go.
Starting with the D10 again.
Yep. That's a fucking 1. Alright, I already give. 3?
3.
You want to play it out?
Okay, never mind. No, now here's the 3. Okay.
Why do all your D10s look like D8s?
4.
It's total 5.
6.
6, so total of 9.
6 to 9, not bad. You can
You
win
can still
this.
win this.
Alright.
6 is no whammy.
1.
No. So that would be 1 gold and 7 silver then.
I'll just toss him 2 gold and walk away.
He smiles
I
like.
challenge a dice game. Me
I
of all
was
people.
thinking the same
You guys
thing.
tied for a long time.
I thought I'd actually have some fun and chance it for once, but I forgot my dice.
I appreciate that you tried. You know what? Actually, because you did that, I'm going to go ahead and say point of inspiration to you.
Thanks. I appreciate your pity inspiration.
Right or left?
Why are you leaving it up to chance again?
I don't know.
Yeah, because one of them's going to be a 10.
Because either
and one
way,
of
it's a
them's gonna
bonus
be
for him.
Yeah, that's true.
This one?
Yeah.
That's the deadlies. And I will say the other one was not a 10.
Okay. It's a 6. I was not far off.
Yeah, I think the low. I want to say the lowest is 4s. Yeah. All right.
Am I showing up about now?
You would, yes, you would be showing up a little way. You would see Zeke with a slightly kick in the ground a little bit.
Zeke, would you want to make some money?
Well, since I just lost some, yeah, that'd be great.
So, it's actually not so much making money as us not having to pay 2 gold instead. We pay 1 gold for our house. What are your thoughts?
I feel like that's just karma for what I just went through. Yeah, that's fine.
He'd be playing at the inn that we're at, playing some music with
As long as it's not dice, that's fine.
Ronan, and
It is
I
not
think we
nice.
can do that. And I'll lead him to the inn.
So if you guys could, you, Kazia, and Zeke, everyone go ahead and make a performance check.
Yes. Oh no. My rolls have been so shit tonight.
I'm sorry, I rolled the Percy die.
I'm gonna break your hand.
Okay, not bad.
I feel like
16.
our relationship isn't as steady as DJ's and Mikey's.
What if I give him a little bit of bardic inspiration?
I would say since you would know you guys were going on the stage, I would allow you to do so. Who do you want to give it to?
What do you think?
It's up to you.
Kaz.
So it's a D6. Okay.
16.
I can't even remember what I rolled on the Percy die.
16 on yours.
16.
What did I roll?
8.
8.
I think I'll make up for it.
It's
Maybe.
performance.
You're negative.
Damn it, Kaz.
Did it negative the bardic inspiration?
No.
Okay. That would've been hilarious.
Almost.
So, what'd you get total?
16.
16?
26. Sorry. 26.
26. Holy fuck nuggets.
Bards.
Well, I rolled a 19 with a +7.
Bards.
Yeah.
So, after strumming and playing for a couple hours, you guys play a few crowd favorites. And at the end of the night, you guys have earned a total of 3 gold and 2 silver pieces, half of which goes to the tavern.
Yep.
Or goes to the inn, I should say, not a tavern. So you guys end up having 1 gold and 6 silver pieces.
Yeah, and I'll take the 1 gold out of my inventory.
Okay. So all in all, came up with a little bit of a profit there.
Hey, our band is getting big.
I'll become a traveling band.
I'm telling you, that's our guys. Traveling band. Why do we have weapons? Just for show. The real skill is in the music.
What genre of music do you guys play?
Wait.
Ska.
Give me that
money.
inspiration back.
You lose money quickly. And don't forget you have those, by the way. And just as a reminder of the way we're doing it, you can apply it to other people's checks as well, not just your own.
I would say like
Just so you know.
we're like an indie punk rock type.
What does
dude.
that even sound
Ye
like?
old
On
punk rock.
On a
What would that
horn?
sound like?
What are you using?
Loot.
A lute and then
Or maybe we're just funk.
He's
Are we-
using a
Skin
flute.
flute.
Are we
like
funk?
a skin flute.
Are we the Funkadelics?
And then what are you playing?
I'm not
Because
playing shit.
all mine would be like seafaring.
No, Kaz plays the flute.
I'm in the room reading.
Mine
We
would
did-
be like joyful seafaring John.
We did the soundtrack for Ye Old Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
We are those guys.
The whole soundtrack, orchestral, like orchestra and everything. Orchestra.
I typed in punk rock lute, and the House of the Rising Sun comes up.
There you go. We inspired them. They stole our sound.
Toss
That's
a
cool.
coin to your Witcher.
Pretty sure that's the name of the song, not the guys.
Just telling you what it is.
Not, they're not plugged. That's not a plug. We don't watch them.
So if we got roughly a gold and a half, I'll take 6 silver for being the main. You do 5 and he does 5.
All right.
Wow, thank you, Kurt Cobain.
Really? Do you want to talk about what you and Kaz would have earned?
Hey, listen. I'm just grateful to be here and be a part of such an incredible band. We have great management and land. I feel good about this.
Oh, wait.
Our first big deal is coming. I know it
It
is.
has to be a team and be able to edit their stuff.
Pretty soon
It
we'll
has to be a team
entertaining
and be able to edit
kings.
their stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe one of us will be.
Hello, Tarzan. Are you ready to rock?
The entire country? The entire kingdom. You're going to play to the entire kingdom.
Are you ready?
Without microphones.
We can dream.
You're going to be very sore-throated in the morning.
That's what she said.
Anyway,
Worth it.
As you said, that a fork just comes in and cracks your shit.
Oh, my loot playing hand.
as you guys lay yourselves down to go to sleep for the night, the beds are very fine, high quality, high thread count sheets, and you are able to drift off into a peaceful sleep.
Ronan, you sleep peacefully.
Thank you, dear God. I was so scared.
I was gonna say, how do we break up the rooms? Who's in what room?
To me,
They
it
read with
doesn't
book
matter.
works, so you're right.
I'm
Okay,
only-
that's fine. Just
Nine
want to be
each
sure.
of the longest.
And you're doing that before you go to sleep?
Before
As a group, yeah, I would say
I
so.
take 6 damage.
Jesus,
Just
from
roll
what?
the d6.
Don't worry about it.
So
Actually, that's a good question. Who's rooming with Lan?
Are you contacting Ilya?
no.
He's not floating off a bed
No,
with a black
it's-
gem in his eye?
It's Zeke and Ronan in a room.
Zeke and Ronan, so Kaz, in the middle of the night,
The edgy Dark Lord is.
just hears Lan. Oh! Fuck!
All right. Set it down, and I go to sleep.
You drop a book on your face.
Pretty much. Do I heal for that damage?
In the morning, yes.
I don't want to have to go through subtracting then adding it right back.
Well, all you do is subtract it, the long rest, and it would refill you.
Long rest takes forever. But it, no, like long
Resting's for weaklings.
Of course, it's instant this time. Last time it just sat there and loading for like 2 minutes. I was like, okay.
I'm not surprised. I believe you because I know that pain. See, look, it doesn't happen.
Well, okay.
Ronan and Zeke talk about band names all through the night, or until they fall asleep.
I'm telling you, smoke on the water sounds like a really good.
All we really need is land to reach out to one of his connections in the tower. We'll get some time in the recording area or the practice area. I really think we have a shot at entertaining some higher ups.
I definitely say we have a good shot at it.
Well, there's got to be there's some spell I remember Talon telling me about. Lest Artiana drift off. You can echo the sound. Thama something.
72 hours worth.
It escapes my mind right
3
now.
times.
But yeah, we can use
Quite
that and
familiar
do
with
cool.
local spells. I would assume it's thaumaturgy.
Yes, thaumaturgy is what it would be.
Thaumaturgy.
Close enough. Well, we should probably get some sleep. We don't want to be tired for the water trip tomorrow.
As you finish that, you just hear.
Right. So off to sleep I go. I'm just gonna roll over and go to sleep.
You guys find peace and comfort and not having to worry about being woken or attacked in the middle of the night. You manage to actually find yourselves relaxing a fair bit. As morning comes around, you guys are awoken by the sound of city life and the streets beginning to move about, bustle here and there. You hear people opening up shops, doors being flung open, people preparing things. And downstairs, some soft music starts to play as the smell of bacon and eggs reach you in your guys' bed.
I would spring up out of bed and go, "It's bright in the morning. Let's get going, shall we?" And go ahead and head out the door. Just right.
I'm
Zeke's a
going.
morning person.
I'm going.
I was about to say, which one you goes, oh fuck, he's a morning person.
I'm going to begrudgingly get out of bed or sit up and kind of just stare out the window for a second, and I'm going to pray to my deity.
Okay, go ahead, make another religion check for me.
We go down to the food place wherever they're making those bacon and eggs and be like, "How are you fine folks?" And then go for some bacon and eggs.
That'd be a 9.
9. 9.
9.
I'm having some breakfast too. I'm probably not as spry as these other ones are.
As you sit there trying to meditate, you feel a difficulty. And just the movement around you makes it more and more difficult to connect with the nature and with the uninterrupted feel of the land around you. And as you're sitting there trying to concentrate, to the point almost sweat begins beating up on your forehead, suddenly you hear a sharp cry out the window. Sounds like a child.
I am going to open my eyes and look out the window and see where that cry might have come from.
You see, below you as you see running, there is a child, looks to maybe be 6 or 7, running as 2 boys chase him down an alleyway.
Do I hear the cry too, or am I too wrapped up?
You guys are downstairs eating
Okay.
breakfast.
I'm going down to the alleyway.
Moving quickly.
Running down to the alleyway.
Moving quickly, you run down to the alleyway, burst outside, and it takes you a second. You're disoriented, just slightly, not having been used to where you are. After a moment, you catch your bearings, sprint, run down the alleyway. And as you do, you see the 2 boys mocking the younger one, pointing and jeering and making jokes at his expense.
What's the answer?
If your hands aren't touching, you're not doing that good enough.
I'm going to walk up on the 2 older boys.
Are you doing this stealthily?
No.
Okay.
Do you feel powerful doing this?
Fuck, go ahead and make an intimidation check. I'll give you advantage on that. I'm not rolling per se.
Can't even see what the scanline says. Oh. You're just banned from rolling.
I don't know what is with me tonight, man.
19.
19.
You only roll good against me.
Apparently. As you do, you see The two older boys, one black hair, one blonde. The blonde boy kind of instantly starts shrinking back, takes 2 steps back from you. The black-haired boy does not move. And you see him just frozen, deer in the headlights, just... And then a soft scent begins to reach you of urine.
If I were you, running from me would be the best option.
Yeah, and then you see him just instantly, they take off and begin sprinting away from you full force. Actually bumping into each other, skidding off down the hallway, and just making distance as fast as I can.
I'm gonna reach my hand out to the little boy. Is he on the ground or?
He is on the ground.
I'm gonna reach my hand out to the little boy.
You see him slowly look up at you. You can see there's actually a birthmark on his face. I believe it's sometimes called a wine stain. Where half his face actually has a purplish red stain around his left eye spreading towards his ear.
Are you okay?
I'm alright. It's nothing they haven't done before.
What is your name?
My name is Zillow, sir.
What was it?
Zillow.
Zulu?
Zillow.
Zilla? I am Ronin. Walk with me. Talk with me.
Kind of nervously stands next to you. You can see his clothing is somewhat frayed. It's not broken or poor, but it's clearly old and ill-fitting for him.
Where are your guardians, Zillow?
Don't have any. Never had any parents.
So you're a child of the streets then.
They say I'm a cursed child, sir.
What makes you a cursed child?
Say I was born when there was only one moon in the sky.
And do you believe them?
I think I must be.
Zilla, I do want you to know that just because everybody says it doesn't make it true. You're only as cursed as you want to be, and you're only as divine as you hope to be. All those choices are yours. But what's not a choice is to be scared. Let's get you something to eat. And I believe I have some clothes for you.
You see a cautious hopefulness from him.
And then I walk him back inside the inn.
As you do, you feel a chilled hush fall over the occupants. And there's no talking anymore, where previously the bar had been fairly discussive and fairly immersed in conversation. Now it is very quiet. Even the band has stopped playing.
Like a boss, I walk to the table where Zeke and Lan and Kazi are.
You see them in the corner. They have received breakfast at this point, I assume.
To what?
I assume you guys will be eating at this point.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the land of the living. Who's your little friend?
This is Zillow. He is a child of the street.
Why'd you all go quiet? Why'd the music die? I was enjoying that.
Are you addressing anyone in particular, or just calling
No,
out
I'm
in general?
calling out this in general.
There's a long... Let's see here. Actually, hang on. Let me pull up the right sheet first. Or is it happens then? I don't know where I put it. Whoops. Alright, well, I don't know where I put it. That's fine. Oh, it's a D10. It's close enough. Okay, that works. Eventually, a half-elf approaches you. The boy's a cursed child.
You're a cursed child. Get away from me. So, who's your friend? Hey there, young man.
His name is Zillow. He's a child of the street. And I think I may
Hi, Zillow. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Seems like a young, respectful kid. Where'd you find him at?
While I was upstairs praying, I looked out the window and found two older boys chasing him. And when I went down and confronted the two older boys, one of them seemed to have pissed themselves. By his own accord, of course.
I'm sure.
No, I'm not. And I just smile at Zeke. He has no parents. He has no home. They, for some reason, call him a cursed child, and I say it loud enough for everybody to hear.
You definitely see a few people staring at you. It's not angry, it's more just akin to watching somebody pantsless in public. Like, you definitely want to keep an eye on them, but you don't want to engage.
So I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna kneel in front of this boy and be like, don't worry, lad. I'm kind of a cursed child myself. I'm gonna let my eyes shift into different colors and then go back to their original color.
You
that
see
I had
just
them.
a doe-eyed look. Just
Like, I don't really have parents either. Well, at least I wish I didn't at this point. My love is gone. Whatever the case, I can kind of know what you're feeling. You definitely got people here who care about you.
see just kind of a small smile break out over his face. Thank you.
Shall we get this kid some food? Get another round of bacon and eggs over here. Get up for some breakfast.
The bartender does eventually come over with another plate, and it's set down not forcefully, just more quickly and assertive.
Is there anything wrong with the food or anything that would be out of the ordinary with it?
Go ahead and make an investigation check. Or would this be survival?
That's the investigation.
Okay, investigation then.
Okay.
I am proficient in investigation. I would like to help him.
Okay. So you have advantage, or you may both make the roll as you wish.
I've been shit. You should do this.
I've been shit.
Okay, that's a 16.
Okay. The food does not seem to be poisoned or ill-prepared in any way.
Okay. Alright, on with it, lad. You got breakfast up here.
I'm gonna excuse myself. I'll be
ravenously
I'll
eating
be back
from the
in
food.
a few. I'm gonna go check out the library.
Be careful, man.
Band, aren't you getting paid for this? Let's hear some music, shall we?
And then I'm gonna walk towards the other side of the room, and I'm just gonna yell, "Last night's band was really awesome."
At which point you hear a few of the younger crowd chuckle a little bit. Anyone who seems to be a little bit older is still kind of just intently staring at you and the child. I would say that would be successful.
I'm just gonna enjoy my breakfast sitting across from this.
Okay. You sees definitely. Both go ahead and make an insight check, actually. Kazi as well.
It's not very good.
Yeah,
but
Yeah, you can keep
doesn't feel
rolling.
great, does it?
What is it?
It's a 4.
11.
12.
Give me shit all night for it.
It's the tray. You've cursed the tray.
Is that it?
Oh, no.
I shouldn't have touched the tray. So normally I do roll in my own tray.
Now, you know, I have your tray. It's here. It's right over there.
Nope. Choice has been made.
Stand.
Dice have been rolled, choice has been made.
Sorry. What was everybody's insight check total?
12.
11.
12, 11. Okay. You notice the child seems to be essentially almost trying to take up less space. Just kind of sitting in a corner, eyes down. Seems a little more comfortable with you, just uncomfortable being in public. And no, it's a house.
So where's this place you got lined up for him?
I have to reach out to my brother and my grandmother. But
Brother, can you contact him from here?
he's in the town.
Well, where? I'd like to see him.
He is with the Dracos. They are. The wife has fallen ill, so him and grandmother are working. but he is here.
I'd still like to see him before we go. At least to say hi.
Then we should make that journey before we have to set sail.
Well, whenever you guys are ready, when breakfast is done, I'm ready to go.
Should we wait for land to come back?
Where do you run off to?
You guys have no idea.
I said the library.
Oh, library.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I missed that, sorry.
Library.
Let's head there and pick them up.
That sounds better.
Either that, or should we go say hi to Talon first, then meet up with them at the library?
Well, Talon met Kazia and Land yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. Just go with him, you know, talk to him about, I guess you're gonna hand the kid off to him.
Well, we'll see what we can work out. But he may be better suited for the wild.
Should we do that first to give him more time at the library?
Is a bit of a...
Bookworm.
Yes. Let's give Land the time desired.
Do you like my flavor text?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to essentially pay for breakfast. And
Okay.
then I'm going to signal for the rest of the party to head out.
It'll be about 4 silver, or no, sorry, 5 silver because you fed the boys more.
Silver it is.
Young man, can I call you Z?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Alright, Z. You wanna walk with us for a bit?
Okay.
And if your feet start hurting, let me know and I'll carry you.
Hmm?
Do you make any checks or anything?
Considering probably not really. You know, make a stealth check.
Oh, hold on.
I'm sorry.
I would say it would be no contest, so just...
But Z does start walking with you guys.
Is there like a clothing shop or...
Yeah, there are multiple tailors and clothing shops now throughout the city.
I'm going to duck into one of the... I'm going to duck into one of the tailor shops real quick.
Okay. Easily done.
And I just want to find a suitable pair of pants, shirt, and shoes for the boy.
Okay. And as you spend some time looking around, you find it is a somatic hybrid that runs the shop, and they actually, instead of having arms, they have almost essentially kind of curved pincers. I think kind of like Kabutops from fucking Pokemon. Kabuto, whatever it is. Okay. And instead of actually sewing
Head back
and
to
reading,
the inn.
Okay.
the somatic hybrid just uses their claw to cut the cloth as needed, and then help stitch it back.
Excuse me, my good man.
Go ahead, make a perception check.
Okay, that's a 10.
Best you can tell, it's a guy. It's kind of a Japanese thing where you're not really sure.
My fellow compatriot.
Racist.
I'm looking for small clothes for a boy. How old did Zillow?
He's about 6.
About how old?
You think about 6.
6. Something between the ages of 5 and 8.
Looks like, oh yes, darling, please, come this way. We will get what you need.
Motherfucker.
I still haven't said it's a female.
I know, you motherfucker. And I'm gonna follow them wherever.
Okay. Basically just leads you to a fitting room where it has just a bunch of different cloths and fabrics. Essentially, how much money are you looking to spend on this?
Not a lot, just suitable, not frayed and
It's up
tattered.
to you.
I'll spend 2 gold on the boy at max.
You can get him some very nice clothes for 2 gold. Not quite like silks, but definitely higher quality cloth.
Actually, I would get him a nice, just a pair of pants and some boots.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna put my head in and just like, would you mind looking after him for a second while I have a conversation with this lovely...
Zeke, as you poke your head in, the somatic hybrid actually looks like,
Oh, well, isn't your design lovely? You see, in particular, the Semitic hybrid is taking note of your multiple marks and tattoos.
Much appreciated.
After hearing that, I'm gonna, yeah, Z, why don't you take this one? And I'm gonna walk outside with Z.
Okay.
So what would you be willing to throw together for a 6-year-old boy living on the streets who just needs something that'll keep him comfortable?
Well, I can put together whatever you would like. It's a matter of what you're willing to pay for the job, of course.
Depends on how comfortable it is. I just want him to be happy.
Well, come with me. And she starts leading you through the different cloths and fabrics. It's kind of your call at this point.
Whatever's soft and comfortable.
There are several high thread quality cloths. She does have silks available.
Something that would be good for travel. Something comfortable and good
In
for
that case, you
travel.
probably would want to go with sturdier leathers.
That's what I was thinking about.
Some just leathers and comfortable fabrics that'll keep you safe on the travel.
Okay. She leads you to different, through a few different leathers, snake skin, things of that nature. In the neighborhood of what you're looking for, probably be about 7 or 8 silver pieces.
Do I get back to the inn and they're not there?
Yes. Given the nature of your diversion.
Okay.
Me and Z are standing outside of a store.
Is anywhere near? Would I have seen them?
It's not too far away, so you might find them if you went out looking.
Yeah, I'll go.
You know that what way you need to not go to find them. So.
True.
Would you willing to go a little lower just for helping a youth that's been living on the streets? by himself?
Make a general charisma check for me.
Not persuasion.
Not persuasion. There's a little bit of a different influence that I'm putting in mind here.
Fair enough. It is 17.
She seems to consider it from the... Well, I shouldn't. It would be so naughty. But for you, darling.
Much appreciated. I can tell you I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
She smiles and begins to knit together the fabrics. It's actually kind of fascinating. It's almost like watching a spider knit clothes.
I was about to say, it's a fascinating technique you got there. You really got away with that cloth.
Well, being differently abled comes in use.
I see it suits you well,
I make it work for me.
I'd say.
After a few moments, she hands you the pants and boots and clothes that you require.
How much do I owe you?
5 silver, please.
5 silver it is.
Do I end up finding them?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
That was mighty kind. I'll be
13.
recommending
13?
anyone to come to this shop.
It takes you a little while, but eventually, as Zeke is heading out of the clothing shop, you see them. They are something of a distinctive group.
Hey guys, you guys ready to go?
I'll definitely be talking highly of your shop. Then
Much
I'll
appreciated.
Head out with the clothes.
Please, stop by next time you're in town.
Lan, we're going to make a quick stop, if you do not mind.
Where to?
We're going to drop by and see my brother.
Okay.
Hey Z, got you some nice clothes.
I'm sorry, you were looking at him, you threw me off for a minute. Because it just kind of fervently takes it, doesn't unfold it, just kind of holds it. So it's running his thumb along the fabric.
We can get you a spot to change into these later, so you're not just changing in the middle of the street.
Thank you. And he
Well, of course.
immediately takes them and stuffs them under his shirt.
Before he does that, I must have one of my daggers in a sheath on top.
He looks at it and slowly pulls it out and looks at it. I didn't know that, Amy. I've never had one of these before.
Used for self-defense only.
And you stabbed him with the pointy end.
And the other thing I could say is, if you ever find yourself against an enemy, just remember, the more knowledge you have of them, the better you can face them.
Ronan just claps.
You see an understanding light up as you say this. Not anything profound or deep, just an acknowledgement.
Alright, shall we find Talon?
He is at the Draco estate.
The actual hall.
Oh, okay, he's at the hall. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, no, Draco was the name of the
Family, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No. The Humilis is the name of the family.
Okay.
Draco is the head of the family.
Oh, okay.
So it's Draco Humilis and then his wife Ira Humilis.
Okay.
Correct.
Zeke and I are gonna head back to the boat and get ready to go. So then, as soon as you guys are done, we can leave.
That is your choice. That is fine.
I gotta admit, I kinda wanted to see Talon. If you don't mind, I'm gonna join them just to say hi to Talon, then I'll meet you there.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, I'll go with him. Get the boat ready. Talked to enough people today.
Fair.
Fair enough. We'll see you guys at the boat then. Z, do you think you could lead us to... Do you know where the hall is?
I mean, I never been in there. I seen the walls.
Did I get a decent look at the maps when the lady was showing me where?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay.
You feel like you know the general location.
I got an okay look at one of the maps. I might be able to lead us there.
Before I
Maybe.
leave, I have it from a fairly trustworthy source that we should be hurrying. And you see me just tap my book, and I'm gonna head back to the boat.
Not really sure what that means, but I'll trust it.
We won't be too long.
Thank you.
And then we're gonna
We'll be there soon.
follow Z to the hall.
As you guys head to the hall, you start heading through more and more upscale parts of the town. And slowly you start seeing people dressed in nicer clothing, carrying themselves with more dignity. They're obviously higher educated. Just
Be less and less happy the further we go then.
Yeah.
you stick out more and more the further up you go.
Yeah.
I would like to duck off in an alleyway so Z can change into his clothes.
Okay, easily done. You see as he puts them on, he's kind of just standing there, just kind of.
Because if they're a little too baggy, I want to like tuck it in and like make them look nice.
And they fit him very well.
Cool.
It's not a matter of the fit; it's more just a matter of him being uncomfortable wearing anything of this quality.
Yeah.
Then you gave him a sheath. Did it come with
Sheath
strap?
and dagger.
Did it come with a strap that he could?
Yeah, the sheath's gonna
Yeah,
be...
they
Okay.
become to be tied to belts and
Okay.
things of that nature.
You clean up well, Z.
See a soft smile.
And then we step back out into the main street, and then we continue towards the hall.
Okay. As you guys head up towards the hall, there is a pair of guards that stand at the main gate entrance, wielding long pikes, typical honor guard kind of stance and attitude and armor. As you guys approach, you have to kind of hastily take a step back as a single squad of guards comes marching out, just calling out, "Yeah, get him moving!" And they start jogging to the streets, just start.
Looks like clowns are out and about.
What would the circus be if they didn't put on a show?
Fair point.
And then I am going to. I guess there's somebody at the gate. Or is there
They're
a
the two
gate?
guards, yes.
Excuse me, my good lads.
Don't you all look all nice and tuckered and well plated? Walk up to one of them and like pretend to like adjust his collar.
Kind of looks at you down curiously. What business have you in the hall?
Not looking as fancy as you, that's for what.
Obviously.
We are looking for my brother. He is helping serve the midwife for Lady Humilis.
Don't know of any half-elves in the hall.
They're not half elves.
Alright. Well, if you're gonna head in, you need to leave your weapons at the gate.
Fine by me. I'm gonna try to sneak a dagger in.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Does the kid need to...
Oh, this would be sleight of hand, I
too?
apologize. No, the kid is going to leave the dagger. You do notice that Z is kind of hastily brushing his hair down in an attempt to cover the wine stain on his face.
So 11.
11?
Yeah. 12, sorry. 12. Math is hard.
Maybe it's not cursed.
I am not going to attempt
It's just
to
rolling
sneak
against me.
my weapons in. I'm going to easily give up my whip daggers and longbow.
Okay.
I, with the utmost reluctancy, take off my sword and sheath.
So the guards begin to pat you down and search for your guys' weapons. Or anything you may have hidden. Zeke, your breath catches for a moment as you feel the guard's hand pass right over where you have your dagger hidden.
Did he really roll just
Then the
under
moment
me?
passes, and the guard moves away. All right, proceed. Cause no trouble.
Yeah, my breath, my actual breath caught.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Well, I'll be forthright with it. I'm very uncomfortable. I don't like this place.
And I look back to see what they're doing with our weapons.
The weapons are being placed into a crate for storage.
They still gave him a crossbow and a rapier.
Yeah, no, I believe if you had handed them nothing, it would have been a much harder check. Well, I'm sure that they would have had advantage.
I'm sorry, just a crossbow. I forgot I gave up the rapier.
So we're we're inside the hall, or we're inside the yard of the hall.
You're inside the yard of the hall.
Is there like a main door that we
Yes.
can see? And I will
Yeah,
walk
it's
up.
a big, tall entrance. It's probably about 15 foot tall.
The moment that there is a spot of no guards, like just a clearing of no guards, I'm just like, do you wish for a weapon? Because I do have an extra dagger on me.
It wasn't so much about the bringing the weapons in.
Oh, I don't like this place.
It was so much about leaving one of my weapons at the gate.
Fair enough.
At which point you see Z's eyes just kind of widen. I thought they said that we had to give them all our weapons.
I don't like to be left defenseless. It's make your own judgments later in life that you deem fit for your own safety. For now, you made the better decision.
My safety always said don't annoy guards.
That's a safe bet.
I'm gonna knock on the front door of the hall, then the entrance.
Slow the doors.
Don't always go by what I do, just what I say.
And as you guys open the door, there is a large grand hall with kind of a roaring fire off to either side, with a fireplace that spans probably a good 10 feet or so. It's very comfortable in here. And as you approach, you see, I said comfortable, not pleasant.
Fair enough.
There is not an ornate throne. It's a comfortable, it's a cushy-looking chair, carved out of wood and kind of filled up with goose feather pillows and things of that nature. As you approach, you see a slightly older man with long brown hair, somewhat wild-looking, and you can see somewhat, as you look closer, you see the slightly prominent pointed ears beneath his hair, similar to what Ronan bears. There is a small amount of scruff on his face, but he's mostly clean-shaven. His wife, you see, is very clearly having recently given birth. And you can see she's just very, very weary, pale, but in a good mood, all things considered. Talking to them is Talon.
And as he is talking, I lightly, like ever so lightly, do the bird whistle.
I just sort of hear him, turn his head, or see him turn his head. Excuse me for a moment. And he'll walk over towards you all.
Hey, Talon. It's good to see you.
He'll turn his head towards you. He'll reach out. He's a feely person.
It's handsy.
He's a very
Yeah.
huggy person.
Yeah, you know what? He's gonna mimic what you did, and he's just gonna like grab his hand, but pull him in and give him a big ol' hug.
Ah, Zeke. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, boyo.
See you.
Fair enough. It's good to hear you.
Well, we just finished up here. I have a couple things I'd like to talk to you about, but grandmother needs to talk with Ronan, so.
Fair. Just so you know, side or not, you're looking good.
Thank you. I would say you're looking good as well, but.
Zeke, keep your eyes on the boy.
Of course.
Just glancing down, you actually see that Z is literally hiding behind your legs, just...
In fact, I'll talk to Talon about him while you do your business.
Telepathically, you would hear Talon say to you, the way that the normal Kalishtar do. There's something off about this place.
Dude, I'm drawing notes on that.
I know, I did.
I sensed it, and grandmother sensed it. Ira is manic. Did I talk to you about... I think I forgot to talk to you about those dreams. They're back again.
You can't.
This would all be telepathic.
Yeah, you can't hear, but you see my body tense up. Yes.
Would I recognize... Does he do anything when he telepathically communicates? Like, would I see his body motions at all? No.
There would be a faint glow around him whenever you know that he is tapping into the power of the Kiori spirit that is bound to him.
Okay.
You don't do the Professor X.
So
I
just
wonder.
for my own... So I'd see a gentle glow from him and then see him tense, so I know that they're communicating.
Correct.
Okay.
And having been familiar with the way that Talon communicates,
Yeah.
you would be more ready to look for this sort of thing than the average person.
You would also know that a lot of fey creatures do the same thing.
Ah, okay.
At least specifically in the Wildwood.
And as they're communicating, I'm going to kneel down to Z and just say, this here's a really close friend, practically family, or literally family to some. One of the most trustworthy people I've ever met.
You see Z slowly peer out, look up at him.
You calling him Z?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was calling it. I asked if I could call him Z.
He reaches up and points with a single finger. Just kind of waiting for more of a reaction from Talon.
Talon will just sort of... Who is the little one?
That's...
We can speak about him in a moment.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Shall we find grandmother before you talk with Zeke here?
Yes, I can pull him aside and catch up with him if you would like to talk with grandmother.
Yes, where's...
She's off into the room to the side. Draco is with them. And then telepathically you would hear, be mindful. There's something off about him as well.
I don't plan on staying long. I'm not a fan of nobility.
And I'm gonna head to the room.
I'll let you take that from there, since it's there.
Or did you want to have Draco and have this conversation real quick?
Oh, Draco Knight, I apologize.
Yeah, I just meant when he walks in there, me and you can have that conversation.
Cool. Yeah, because I'm just going to do this and then...
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was thinking through stuff, so who's going where now?
I'm going to speak to
He's-
grandmother and Draco.
Yeah, 'cause-
Okay.
And I'm going to talk to Talon about Z
Okay.
before heading back to the boats.
I know.
It's like a well-oiled machine.
Oh,
for your-
Yeah.
for character.
Oh, man, it's exhausting being this awesome.
God, being this excellent takes so much energy. Doesn't even make sense. Just add it to my list of things that I already blew up and conquered.
I just don't remember at all.
Even with your
Oh,
dice being...
well, she was briefly mentioned.
Dice haven't been helping you, but
I
man,
don't
you
like
can still
to
be on your way.
age
Staying
or
steady.
anything, but
Okay, I didn't
Steady Eddie, baby.
Like,
What it do, baby?
anyway.
I didn't have you had a belief until I get understanding towards her belief.
leaves or anything. Just real old-fashioned.
Also, just for your own,
She kind of like her grandmother Willow figure.
purposefully not
mystic
reading
in
over your
manner.
shoulder.
Thank you.
Just that's so you don't have to worry about that.
This interlude brought to you by Brass Engine.
So she sort of feels
For all your tabletop role-playing needs,
connection to him, but a kinship
Brass
because
Engine.
of the thing they have to give up for the spirits.
At the end of this campaign, I'm
Just a
gonna
general,
send you guys
like,
with some.
do
I
things
think
the
it'll be really
old-fashioned
entertaining to
way.
read through
Like,
everything
she
you've done.
uses magic.
Let's say, because I'm actually
magic and stuff like that.
interested in some of the stuff you're typing,
Very
because I
rudimentary.
assume it's not everything that we are doing. It's also what you.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's old-fashioned healing. Yeah, it's gotcha.
Actually, I have a side question. So you know my mother, right?
So as you walk in,
Yeah, I do.
you see
Thought, okay.
the grandmother sitting cross-legged on top of. It's kind of a cushion, makeshift cushion that's been used. Obviously, well, it doesn't belong there because it doesn't fit in the floor at all. She's clearly taken it and putting it there. But Draco is sitting on top of a throne, talking to her just in a low voice as you enter.
I walk in. Do I know what the custom is here, as far as when you enter a room?
As far
With
as
with
the tower,
noble?
or as far as...
Just with the noble in here.
Specifically Draco?
Yeah,
Sure, go ahead and make a
specifically.
history check.
Okay, here we go. Keyleth. Don't fuck me.
You're going to use the keyfish?
Don't fuck me. 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 Don't
Do
fuck
it.
me.
Be a 1.
12.
You know the standard greetings used among humans? You don't really know any way that they might differ.
Okay. So a bow, I'm guessing would be the
Bow is the most typical greeting among humans, yes.
Alright, then I am going to walk in and bow.
As you do, Draco turns and gives a soft nod, and you can see the soft bags under his eyes that have come from the recent sleepless nights, just panic and worry over the condition of his newborn child.
Congratulations, my lord.
At which point he gives a soft thank you. It's been an extreme, it's been a journey these past few days. That being said, I hope you've enjoyed your time in my city.
It has. It has been wonderful. And I will pray for the safety and health of your child.
At which point you see grandmother just sitting there. Ronan, come here.
And like a small boy, I will run to Grandmama and fall to both knees and then give her the greeting.
And there is a typical greeting used among elves, which I have here to pull up.
Kalishtar, you mean?
I apologize, yes, Kalistar. It's a greeting from the elves, but used among the Kalistar, at least of the Lunari.
Okay.
I just have to find where the fuck I put it. Oh, it'll be in here. Sorry. So the typical greetings used back and forth between elves, or in this case, Kalistar. The first who greets says in Elvish, "Blessings of nature be upon you." And the response in Elvish is, "May the stars watch over you." It's often considered somewhat rude to not do this. Something that she probably wouldn't hold you to, but it's just a standard greeting between the Lunari or the Elvis of the Wildwoods in particular. Again, there are individuals that don't hold to this, but generally this is considered the polite way to greet people. And as you do, she slowly just runs her hands over your face, feeling all the different crevices and moves.
Is she blind too?
Yes, she is blind. And she just softly whispers, "You have been troubled. You've come quite some way. And I sense you are going much farther."
Yes, Grandmama, that is true. I was talking to Talon, and he, like myself, have recently had a nightmare.
Many of the old Fey elves believed that dreams and symbols and nightmares never really stop. They simply fall out of rotation, as it were. And yours have come back in.
Yes.
Have you found a way to put your spirit at rest?
Not consistently, no.
You see a soft smile break over her face. You will in time. Nothing worth having comes easy.
Thank you, Grandmama.
And she slowly just begins mixing together. There are a bundle of herbs and different chopped pieces of figs and leaves and things at her feet, which she begins mixing together until it makes this fine kind of clay-colored paste. And she dips a thumb in it and slowly puts an arc on your forehead. Not Simba. It's not Rafiki. There's no staff. No baby lion clubs getting yeeted off of Pride Rock.
Yeah, I like Rafiki. Don't talk about Rafiki.
Not bad.
Rafiki's the best.
Go now on your journey and conquer your dreams.
Sounds like Rafiki.
I appreciate the blessing, Grandmama. And as I get up to walk by, I kiss her on her forehead.
As you do, you feel more than see a soft smile on her features.
Oh, also, Tally mentioned that you may have some of that, the bread that you make. Is there any left?
You see her smile softly, reach behind her, pull out a loaf of bread that's been wrapped and prepped.
Almost like a small boyish smile creeps across his face. And then as I take the bread, I will slide her 2 gold.
She does not take it.
Even in your older age, I'm still stubborn.
Come here.
When I come in close.
She reaches down and pulls your ear. I am not so old that I forget my manners.
And then I give her the, I guess, is there a goodbye or?
It's just the similar greeting.
Yeah. Then I give her the similar greeting, goodbye.
As you turn and leave, Draco just gives a small nod. You have my thanks to you and your family for what you've done for mine.
Thank you, my lord, for allowing us to stay and visit your city.
Well, I regret it's been such a busy time. Honestly, normally we're far more peaceful than this.
Didn't seem too bad.
Well, pleased to hear it. Means my gods are at least doing their job.
And then I bow and nod and walk out of the room. Happy with a loaf of bread.
Just got your mama's cornbread.
It's fantastic. While that was going on, what's happening outside?
How have you been?
Alive? Well, playing a lot of music lately. I've been well, but definitely met some interesting experiences on the river on our way up here. Fighting crocs with 2 heads, getting attacked by flesh bats.
Horrible word.
Flesh bats.
Some kind of weird monstrosity. They got me pretty good, but fought them off. Down in the where's the place called?
I've opened up a different map.
The Natural One. No, I'm just kidding.
Humilis Hall? It's just south of Humilis Hall.
Yeah. What was the
Where we
forest?
fought.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
it's
forest has a name,
something
though.
swamp, like dark swamp.
No, the Dark Swamp is to the north.
Oh, we're not there yet. Okay.
Yeah, this is not the Dark Swamp.
I thought it was. Okay.
No,
No,
there's
no,
something
no,
just
no,
north
no.
of the tower.
Way.
It's that
Okay.
little. Yes.
Yeah, you guys are in that little tiny forest.
Yeah.
You guys got quite a way before you make it to Lava.
Because I knew it had a name. Because when we were zoomed in, I thought I saw the name of it. Anyway. on the outskirts of that forest on the way up here. There were some sentient creatures in there and those weird flesh bat things. Sounded like they were swarming.
Well, I'm not sure about the sentient things, but what you're describing sounds like sturges.
Whatever they are, they hurt and they
Did
suck
they
blood.
try? I was just about to ask. Did they try and suck your blood?
They gave it a shot.
At which point you guys look down and see Z sitting there with a look of fascination and horror on his face.
It wasn't fun. I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, one of them looks down and sees it.
Did you bring the child along for this?
Fortunately not. We met him here in the city. He apparently doesn't have parents, and he's been referred to by multiple people as a cursed child.
He'll sort of,
To the point an entire inn went quiet when he joined in.
like put his hand on your shoulder and in a hushed manner kind of pull his face close to yours and be like, they don't like talking about that kind of stuff around here.
Fair, I'll keep that in mind. But, I was asking Ronan about what we were discussing, where he could potentially stay, and he was possibly staying with you at the forest. In your home.
I mean, we could definitely provide a space for him, but what for exactly?
He was homeless. He has no parents, no place to go. All he gets is hate and grief here.
At which point he looks up at Talon. Please, sir, I don't want to be a problem.
He's respectful. He's been nothing but good to us.
No, child, you're not a problem. I'm just... Are you saying you want us to teach him the Lunari ways, or you're just simply looking for a home?
Just shelter. You don't necessarily have to take him in as family, but at least somewhere safe where he can be free and happy.
Well, Druidism is not a... It's not an easy path, but...
At least old enough until he knows he can fend for himself. Doesn't necessarily have to join in on traditions.
Well, unfortunately, the elders are a bit of a stickler on that sort of thing. I can take the child in, and I'm sure they would take him, but he would have to learn the ways, and he would have to adhere to our rules.
If that's okay with you, Z. I'm not gonna make you do anything.
Certainly can't be any worse than being here.
Fair.
At which point he kind of leans up. Does that mean I have to be blind too?
No, child.
But they will treat you well. They treat everyone I know well. They're good people.
Okay. Never been outside the city before.
I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I know I did.
Well, do you plan on going with Ronan and them up to Lawful, or?
Yes. That is where our journey is taking us. But we'll be back. We're just retrieving some horses from there.
Right, the Lawful steeds.
Correct.
They're very beautiful creatures from what I've seen. I've never had the pleasure of riding one or bonding with one, but I hear they're pretty magnificent.
I've never seen one in action either. Kind of excited myself.
Just be careful. I know that even the roads around here are littered with people that, let's just say, have ill will.
I'll definitely keep that in mind. I appreciate the warning.
I know you're a city goer and you kind of already know this stuff, but just be careful.
I'll try my best. No promises.
It was good to see you again.
And you? Always good to see you.
All right, Z.
I'm gonna head off to the docks. If you need me, I'll still be at the docks for a little bit.
Any advice on what the child likes to eat, or
I'm not really sure. I mean, what exactly do you eat lately? I know we had a big breakfast, but that seemed out of the ordinary for you.
Mostly bread.
I would assume just regular food.
I'll stop by the bakery on my way back to the forest.
Do you need any gold for provisions? Or you think you're
No,
okay?
no, of course not. Grandmother has that all taken care of.
Wonderful.
At this point, I'd be popping the corner. Sally, the boy needs meat. He needs to be able to withstand the trials he will be going through at home.
I can't see him, but he does sound a bit frail.
Frail is an understatement.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. What did you say?
Frail is an understatement. He is in need,
He's definitely got a fighting spirit in him, though.
which is why I think going home for him with you and being trained in our ways would be best.
Well, if it's food that he needs, I'm sure I could scramble up something, but as far as family, I mean, you know as good as anyone else that if it's family he needs, the Lunari don't disappoint.
And with that being said, I know he will be loved and cared for, as well as raised right. And I'm gonna kneel down in front of Z. Remember what I said.
I will.
This is my younger brother, but he's smart and he's strong. He will take you back to our home. He will raise you.
Don't forget Wise,
Thank you.
the bastard.
And when you think he can't see you, he can.
I'll high five him.
Just
And that would make Zeke laugh out loud.
Like I said, he can see you.
Just not in the conventional way.
So,
I'm going to get up and I'm going to hug Talon. And I'm going to whisper in his ear. The darkness is on the horizon.
That's very ominous, brother. Are you referring to the dream?
Yes. I've seen it. I felt it. More so than any dream that I've felt before that.
You're having the same dream.
If you're inquiring about these magically made chains that bind me and stop me from getting to you, and watching all my friends be slaughtered, then yes, I'm having the same dream.
Well, in mine, we switch places.
That can't be good.
Whenever you can, make sure you make a trip back to the Wildwood.
Once we drop the horses off, I'll come home.
All right.
I feel we need to meet with the elders.
I'll be there.
Well, young man, you'll be good. I'm sure we'll see you again. Ruffles
Like
hair.
for the sake of brevity, you guys head back down to the docks where you meet up with Lan and Kazuya. They'll be getting the ship ready for docking. And I think that's where we'll go ahead and call it for the week, guys. Believe me, I'd like to keep going. This is great stuff, but coronavirus is a thing, and they want us to not be outside too much. So,
True.
which does bring me to mind all you guys watching at home. First off, thank you so much for watching. Mikey, if you're still with us, thank you so much for tuning in.
We love you and miss you.
We love you, miss you. Hope that the surgery goes well and everyone recovers well and speedily. That can always be a not fun thing. But
Seriously.
given the recent restrictions that have been placed on the state, we're going to try to continue meeting. We have not yet been placed under a proper lockdown. So long as that's not a thing, I believe our plan is to continue meeting and continue playing. As always, you can keep an eye out on our Twitter. We'll make sure if there's an update, we send that out. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you all next week. Great session, guys.